listening to Misery Loves Company. Company Alive at youtube.com/MLC Podcast.
Am I too dark? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm trying to adjust the lighting so I don't have so much glare on my fucking things, on my eyeglasses.
You look normal.
All right, everybody, we're doing it. A lot to do, a lot to cover today. I think we're gonna have one of the boxers from yesterday on. Let me just send. Let me just send. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. All right, everybody. We got some super chats. Shout out to Gustav yesterday for killing Chad with those specific things. It was fun. It's incredible. And Chad was like, I don't remember. And then Gustav's like, yeah, it was that lady from Norfolk. Remember, and Chad's like, oh, yeah, I do. Now I remember. You literally have to tell Chad exactly what happened. And then he's like, oh, that's right. It's like with Karen Feeney. Meanie Feeney. What's her name? Kate Meany. Should I pay her? Gino doesn't pay her. I didn't pay her yet. I'm thinking... we were asking about would she have sex for money? And she's like, well, that would make me feel like a prostitute. So is that why Gino doesn't pay her? Because Gino doesn't want to make her to feel like a prostitute? I don't know. Anyway, we're starting a little early because I like to keep people off guard. And I was watching Carlos Danger today. And somebody on the show, I was super chatting. Carlos Danger is always like, I don't know if it's the real Kevin. Fake Kevin Brennans are broke, Carlos. I told that to Ray. I mean, you guys got to play the same game. Is that the real Kevin? It is. Let me know if a fake Kevin Brennan gives you money. Anytime Kevin Brennan super chats money, you can contact me directly and go, is that you or was that you? And if it's not me, let me know if the fake Kevin Brennan is giving money because they're broke. These motherfuckers are broke. These fake Kevin Brennans, they're broke as shit. I mean, I'm barely doing all right. Yesterday we did well, but I mean, so I didn't even read them. I'll get them for Monday. But we had a lot yesterday, but Gustav killing Chad at the end was just fucking hilarious. And Chad's always thinking, Chad's always like, I don't know, because Chad's been dealing with the legal system for a long time, so he knows that like. Until you can prove it, and Gustav does look like a fucking former prosecutor from like the 1800s. Like he looks like a district attorney or some kind of guy who worked in the legal profession with that face he has and the beard. But him like telling Chad specifically what was happening, and Chad was like, "Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, the lady from she kept bragging she's from Norfolk." I don't even think that's how you say it. You say no fuck or no. I don't even care. It's like when you go to Edinburgh, they're like, we said Edinburgh. It's like, okay, it's Edinburgh or whatever. What's the other one in Australia? Anyway. Anywho, we're doing it again. We got Pat Dixon coming on, my Saturday co-host. Oh, here's Gustav. Doesn't he look like he was a prosecutor from the pay her and divide her loyalty, and it's an actual yeah, probably right. Gustav. All hail to Gustav. I think it is. I think he's right. I think that's what you do. You confuse them. By divide or loyalty. Yep. Divide and conquer. It's not exactly divide and conquer, right, Gustav? But it's similar where you like, she gets confused as to who she should be loyal to. She should be loyal to Gino Bisconti, who pays her nothing, or she should be loyal to me, who's going to pay her, or to nobody, to none of the above. I don't know. Anyway, plus I want to start early because I know Nate Bargatze is hosting SNL. I know they're desperate. Over at SNL because the SAG after is still on strike. But Nate Bargatze. So Mark Norman must be thinking like, am I next week? I mean, he was the only one with availability? What in the fuck is going on? Maybe this guy can help me. Pat, you're on air.
Hey, what's up?
What the hell are you doing?
I'm sorry, I was trying to choke down the last bit of a sandwich. Did you say that Nate Bargatze is hosting SNL?
I think so. Chad tweeted it out, and then I think it can't be made up, right?
I don't know. Totally, I think it totally can be made up. I mean, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, usually they have like Al Pacino or something like that, or like a Hollywood.
No, it's him and the Foo. It's him and the Foo Fighters. The Foo Fighters must be like, wait, who are you?
Congratulations to Nate. That's great for him.
Yeah, but it's
insane. It is insane. I mean, it's a little out of balance, for who they usually have. That's for sure.
No, because of the strike. They can't get like actors.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, otherwise it didn't make any sense anyway. Let me see what they're saying. Yeah, now you're making me doubt myself.
Well, I mean, Chad is the one who put it out, so I mean,
no, it can't be fake. SNL tonight. Who's hosting? Who's hosting Saturday Night Live tonight? Is back tonight with another brand new, and for the third consecutive week, a first-time host takes the SNL stage. The first cast member, Pete Davidson, was the first one last week. Rap superstar Bad Bunny pulled double duty while making his hosting debut. Tonight, another comedian gets his shot as host. Stand-up comic Nate Bargatze will host Saturday Night Live. Will be joined by the Foo Fighters as a musical guest. The rock icons are making their 9th, so they had to get a big band to. Nate Bargatze doesn't carry the same name recognition as other comedians who have recently hosted Saturday Night Live, such as John Mulaney, Amy Schumer, or Bill Burr. Bargatze would be among the first to admit that, too. He joked on Late Night with Seth Meyers that he wasn't famous enough to host SNL. Bargatze's best known for being on Skankfest the last 2 years. And
damn.
But Bargatze has a 2-decade-long career in comedy, amassing an impressive fan base and becoming a well-respected talent in the stand-up world. His 2023 special, Nate Bargatze Hello World, carries a 98% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, then it's got to be good.
And unlike other comedians, Bargatze doesn't have any real acting experience. He played himself in an episode of Maron. You mean Mark Maron? Why don't you just get Mark Maron? But hasn't exactly been asked to be an original character. But if SNL can make athletes and politicians and actors, it should have no problem giving someone as funny as Bargatze to write. Yeah, if Bargatze's so good, why don't they make him a cast member?
Yeah,
it's
good question.
Fucking believable. Nate Bargatze. So who's next? Dave Smith?
Shane Gillis.
Who's booking? I mean, fucking Andrew Schultz and Christy Stefano must be like, we were available. Nate Bargatze. Basically, if it wasn't for the internet, no one would have heard of this guy. I was looking up I was doing some research. Send Erock the link. He'd be proud of me. You know when MySpace started? 2003. Before social media, and that's when Dane Cook started like milking social media to like build his fan base. Like apparently people would like. I think Vinny Brandt told me. What's it? Who am I talking about?
MySpace, Nate Bargatze.
No, the guy.
Vinny Brand.
No, the guy. The Vinny Weird. The comic I was just talking. Dane Cook.
Oh right.
Jesus, Nick. Dane Cook used to use MySpace to build his fan base. He said he would do a show, he would go right back to his hotel and just go on MySpace all night, building his fan base. Because before that, like when I went to see Jay Leno at Zanies in the 1980s, I lived up the street from Zanies, and I would watch David Letterman religiously, and that's the only way you would know where a comic was. If you called the comedy club, nobody had a website. Nobody, there was no social media. So if you wanted to go see Jay Leno, you had to be actually watching the episode of Letterman that he was on, and he would plug all his dates. Or you could walk to the comedy club or call the comedy club and go, who's going to be? Otherwise, there was no way to know what comic was going to be. There was no way to promote yourself.
Not
the
really.
Only people that became big acts were like cultural phenomenons like Eddie Murphy or Dice Clay. Otherwise, when Dane Cook did it, people were like, how did he do it? He did it through MySpace, social media. Because through social media, if people fans of Nate Bargatze, they can literally go to Nate Bargatze's website and see where he's going to be. Or go to their local fucking, or where they see comics, go to a comedy club website. Or there's a million ways to find out where your fans are going to, where your favorite comic's going to be or a performer is going to be. Now, back then, there was no way. They didn't have, back then, when I saw Jay Leno, and he was sold out, but and then I was looking, I remember Attell was on tour one time, and they weren't even, like, Nate Bargatze's doing arenas now. I just saw he's doing the Wells Fargo in Philadelphia. Anyway.
Okay, it's huge.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, because he's like a slow-talking, he should be at fucking Go Bananas.
Hey, apparently people really like him,
Yeah, because he's a hack, Pat. Oh, every clip I see, he's like, and then my wife said, he's one of those guys, and then my wife said, him and his wife get into these good-natured ribbing fights, where my wife said, and I'm an idiot, my wife's smart.
Yeah, okay.
Like Sebastian, every bit is about my dad. I want to meet Sebastian's dad. That guy sounds hilarious. Every bit Sebastian has, that's a famous bit. Something about his dad. And Nate Bargatze, everything is about his wife. Then my wife said, and then I said, that's why people like him. He's like, he's just like us, honey. We had that same fight, remember, at Applebee's?
Yeah, I guess. But I think back in the old days when you saw that a comedian was going to be somewhere, it meant more because you happened to see it. It felt like a special knowledge. We're interested in this. And then a whole lot of people show up. And those shows used to be bigger then. I mean, they were.
What do you mean bigger?
I'm talking about people used to watch The Tonight Show. People used to watch Letterman. People used to watch,
No, I know, but that was the only way to promote it. And they didn't even have VCRs back then. So you couldn't even tape The Tonight Show and then watch it. So you literally had to watch it live. Like, every time Jay Leno was on the Letterman show, I would watch it live because I fucking loved Jay Leno, and him and Letterman together were fucking great, and it was always hilarious. So I was psyched when he was at Zanies, and I got to the point where I just started walking by Zanies because I used to live close enough to Zanies. I would like run. I used to jog, not past Zanies, but close by, and then on the way back I would stop and see who was coming.
Where'd you live in Boys Town?
No, I lived like closer to downtown. Well, I'll just, anybody from Chicago, at least live on LaSalle and Chestnut, which is near Chicago Avenue, and then I would run up to like Fullerton and then back. You know
that old bar that's near Zanies? It's like the old something tavern.
Yeah.
It's got all this. It's the best place. It's got like a few pinball machines, but then it's got this original art. I don't know who the fuck the artist is, but it's all guys walking in, catching their wives cheating on them, like every painting.
Oh, really?
Hilarious.
Not Nate Bargatze.
No. It's not about
anyway.
him.
He's just a regular guy, and the fans are just whatever they get. They're like, he's just like us, honey. They're just having the same fights we're having, honey. But I was thinking back when like I got an HBO thing in like 2004 or 5. It was, I got it, I think, 2005 I got it. So I remember I was talking to somebody from HBO, and she said, and these guys were, I'll just imagine how big this would be now. She said she saw, I guess, Comedy Central. My thing was with HBO, but I think Comedy Central, everybody was trying to get on Comedy Central then. So the tour was, and they weren't doing like Wells Fargo. They weren't doing big arenas. They were just doing theaters. But imagine how big this would be now. The tour was Hedberg. Now I'm forgetting. Wow, I'm really spacing out today. What's the guy who used to be on the Daily Show? The old guy that was always yelling.
Not John. Oh, Lewis Black.
Yeah, it was Lewis Black, Dave Attell, and Mitch Hedberg. That was the tour. That's what you had to. Those are the kind of people you had to get together to sell tickets. And Comedy Central, Comedy Central could promote it on their channel all day. Be like, go see the tour, whatever the tour was called. Go see these guys, and they would go to every city and fucking. But again, you had to be watching Comedy Central, and again, there was no website. So Comedy Central didn't have a website. So if you're watching Comedy Central, you could see it. But if you missed it, you missed it. So now everyone can fucking just let you know where they're going to be. But imagine if Lewis Black, Hedberg, and Attell, all in their prime, were touring. It would be like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, huge.
And
comedians of that caliber going around doing theaters together, it was probably packed. But like you said, they weren't doing arenas like Nate is now. The internet,
because it was harder. It's harder to sell. It was harder to fucking sell tickets. There was no website. There's no social media. So if people saw it, if they saw it being promoted, they saw it. If they didn't, they didn't. It's just and nobody had websites. So it's like everybody acts like these comics in this era are better. They're not. Nate Bargatze's not better than anybody. I mean, seriously, if anybody has a clip of him being hilarious, please send it to me. Because I'd like to see it, because every bit is about him and his wife and the shenanigans that go on in that Bargatze house.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time. I go back with Nate, I remember seeing him in Nashville sometimes. Something, the problem is that comedy's changed. People like that kind of shit now more. I mean,
no, they always liked it. They always liked it, but you couldn't become a huge headliner with that.
Right. I mean, they like people used to like stuff that was a little more bold. I mean, Hedberg was different, and obviously, Attell.
Yeah, but Dice, look at the guys the first two guys that sold out MSG, Eddie Murphy and Dice Clay. These guys were gigantic. They were cultural phenomenons. I mean, Nate Bargatze's like a nothing compared to these guys, and all these guys think they're fucking great because they can sell tickets. They're not. If anyone can find a clip of Nate Bargatze being great at comedy, please. And I tweeted something out nasty about it, and then somebody says he sucks on podcasts. If you suck on podcasts, you're probably not that funny because everyone can prepare material. Lenny Marcus can.
He's hosting SNL next week, probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. Este's booking it. I mean, it's unbelievable. But these guys now, they think they're better, or they'll be like, no, it's different. It's like it's different now. It's not that different. It's not that different. So these comics, they're like, hey, I'm selling tickets. I'm big now.
Yeah. Well, from the time of Aziz Ansari sold out like MSG, weren't you kind of like, oh well, I guess stuff is different, right? I mean, like
he
was a TV star.
No, he had the Indian fans. There's like a gazillion Indian people.
Oh.
So he tapped into that. He was their leader. He was their hero.
So yeah, he's like the who's the Italian guy you mentioned a few minutes ago? He's
Sebastian.
So he's the Sebastian of the Indians. He's the dothead Sebastian, basically. Well, I didn't know that. I thought that a lot of regular people saw him. Like
who?
Aziz.
But also it's not just that, but there's in India alone there's like 1 billion people, right?
Yeah, he's probably huge there.
So the point is that if you can tap into a fan base like that, like Russell Peters, he became the same thing. It's like, yeah, he became good, but then you tap into your fucking, because Indian comics have been underrepresented historically in this country.
Well, sure. Of course they have. I mean,
So-
I don't know about underrepresented. They probably
They have. I'll stand by my statement. I'm saying, but once they show up, it's like same thing with Amy Schumer. Like once Amy Schumer showed up, people are like, "Oh my God, she's fat and white, just like me and all my friends."
Look how doughy. That's how I am.
No, if you go to the mall, every girl there is like that. They're all fat, they're all white, and they all think Amy Schumer's their leader. So again, she tapped into her comedy's not sophisticated. I mean, I always thought she was good, but again, she tapped into a market. She's fat and she's white and she's not, her whole thing was, my mom says how I'm so pretty. And so that was funny because she's obviously not that pretty. Her mom's lying to her. But you know how the Shuleys lie to their kids. And historically they've been lying to their kids about how they're going to beat hummus. So anyway, so you got to be tapping into a market. Nate Bargatze's tapping in, and I'm sure all his peers are like, "What am I doing wrong? You got to talk about your wife, guys. Hey, my wife said this. Hey, we went to the thing. My wife said, do I look fat in this? I said, you look fat in everything. I
got to get married again for this to make in comedy. If I want to work at Venus, I got to go find another wife.
Yes, it's that simple. Just get another wife. Oh, look who's here.
Oh, Stevie, what's up?
Oh, no, guys, no, Nate Bargatze, he's a good guy. No, I like him. No, don't. I'm not mad at Nate Bargatze.
Are you doing Ray DeVito? We'll probably send a link to Ray DeVito. I don't want to crowd the playing field.
All right, who's this one?
You mean to tell me I gotta get a receipt for this luggage? That's what
I know that's Sebastian. I don't know the bit, but
I don't know. I was just making up a bit.
No, Hedberg had a bit where he bought a donut.
And donut,
would you like a receipt? He goes, "I'll never have to prove I bought a donut or some variation."
We don't need to bring ink and paper into this.
He's gonna put it in his filing cabinet. I think is the way he.
That was great, man. Hedberg was. I saw a fucking video of him at that club in Louisville, Comedy Caravan, bombing. And he'd been doing comedy about 3 or 4 years. It was nuts. Yeah, he came out of the same club that Tom Ryan. Tom Ryan saw him his second time on stage. He saw Todd Barry second time on stage. It's weird.
And the funny thing about Tom Barry, he hasn't gotten any better since the second time he went on stage. Here's the thing: Tom Barry stinks. I'll stand by that too. No, I used to say Tom Barry lived like on 3rd Street, on like 2nd Avenue and 3rd Street, and the Comedy Cellar was basically on 3rd Street. It's
4th Google.
Yeah, right down there. And I'm like, Todd never did well at Comedy Cellar. I'm like, if you can't do well on the street that you live, like, what are you even doing? I know it's a couple avenues over, but come on, Toddley.
He was even more downtown than the Comedy Cellar. That's the problem. He started going into that alt scene that was drying up around the time I showed up.
I used to live on 47th Street in Hell's Kitchen. And that's also like the Diamond District. That's where all the Shuleys have their diamonds. But I was living in a shitty, tiny apartment on 47th Street. But technically,
I'm sure your landlord was a Shuley.
Yes. But same thing where I'm like, I'm on Diamond Row, but I'm living in fucking Shitsville.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Did you do better?
No, but the point is that these comics think they're better, and the comics that the comics will be like, no, Attell was great, but what he didn't do right was we didn't. It's different now because it's easier to sell tickets. It's just easier to sell tickets. If Nate Bargatze's selling a lot of tickets, it's easier. If Nate Bargatze 30 years ago would just be a headlining comic, he wouldn't be any. Plus, there's more platforms now. Obviously, back in the day, you had to do 5 minutes on fucking Letterman, or you didn't exist, or 5 minutes on the Tonight Show. So anyone can debate me all you want. It's easier to sell tickets now, and the evidence is Nate Bargatze is selling tickets. He's selling arenas. In back in the day, it would be physically impossible. You had to be, like I said, you had to be a cultural phenomenon like Eddie Murphy or Dice Clay to sell a lot of tickets back then. And the fact that Hedberg, Louis Black sold tickets on his own, but they wanted to just Comedy Central wanted to promote, do this tour So I don't even know who went on. Lewis Black must have closed, but I guess Hedberg opened, but because Attell's not a good opener. But could you imagine that show? And you're like, and they were all in their fucking prime, and so it's just mind-boggling when I see, and it's all because of the actors' strike that Nate Bargatze's there. But I'm like, is Neil going to be hosting SNL? Like, what in the fuck? Where are we going with this SNL? Like, it's fucking crazy. So it all started with social media because that's what they all attributed Dane Cook to being able to sell tickets. Where he started getting big, and it was just because he did it through MySpace, and now like everybody's selling tickets except for Gino. He
was the first comic to make it because of social media and because of working social media. That's for sure. Dane Cook. Guy. Who was the second? Does anybody remember? I mean, you know who the first YouTube one was that it was some woman who talked about getting her nails done, Angela Johnson. Remember her?
Yeah, but he wasn't a comic, was she?
Yeah, no, but she was selling out theaters and larger venues with no comedy experience except that thing that she did, that Korean nails thing. You know who opened for her? Nate Bargatze.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, Nate Bargatze is like an algorithm safe comic. He doesn't have he's got all safe material. He doesn't have any.
That's what I'm saying. Back then, you couldn't go that far being safe. I mean, Jay Leno was quote unquote safe, but he wasn't safe. Like his comedy club act, his jokes were great. He was edgy. I mean, he was just a fucking great comic. And I saw him at Zanies, and then the next time around, I think he went to a small theater. But he was the biggest comic in the country then. He was on Letterman literally once a month. Maybe the longest stretch he would go was once every 2 months. And he would kill on Letterman. And again, then when I saw him at Zanies, and then, all the shows were sold out. He probably did 3 a night. And or at least on Saturday, I think he did 3. I think I saw the late show. But anyway, then the next time around, he went to something west, and I forget what it's called, but it was this theater in Chicago, and I was like, oh, I guess he's moving on up. But he was the biggest comic in the country by far because of all his Letterman appearances, and he was great. He was fucking great, killer jokes, just killer, and it was and he was barely out of comedy club. So. I mean, It's fucking sick. But these guys all think they're fucking great. And again, please send me a clip of Nate Bargatze being hilarious, like a great bit. Any great bit like Hedberg would do, or Attell, or just classic bit where you just go like, that's just a great fucking bit, I mean, this shirt is dry, clean, lonely, which means it's dirty. Like a simple joke, but just you hear the joke and you go, that's a great fucking joke. That's a great joke. Sorry.
Man, I you got a few years on me, Kevin. I started right at the end of the comedy boom, and right at the end, or sort of I don't know, like somewhere near the end of the angry white guy era, like Bill Hicks and Timothy Leary and all. Not Timothy Leary,
LSD, baby, hell yeah.
The great comic Timothy Leary, but
Timothy Leary. Yeah,
but it's like we are all misled on that shit. I mean, it's like fax your avails, and then it's email your avails, and then it's get your own audience, and you got to bring them in. And if you're not drawing, then I thought you could be a ham and egger headliner like a lot of these guys did. That's kind of over. You used to be able to go on tour with as an MC. You would go around traveling and MCing. All this, but
I don't know anything. But that's why I asked Kevin Meaney's daughter yesterday, did he die with any money? Because I was assuming he didn't. And she's like, well, he had a life insurance. You mean like a fucking regular dude? Like a regular dude, he had a life insurance policy? That's fucking embarrassing. That's embarrassing for show business.
They're big.
So I mean, listen, man. When I started, I just want to be on Letterman. I loved the Letterman show, and Leno was the most frequent comic they had, and Leno was fucking great. I saw him in a club at Zanies. He fucking killed for like an hour and a half. I remember he was like, all right, I'm going to wrap it up. And some woman goes, come on. And I think he looked at his watch. He goes, I've been up here for 2 hours. I mean, killing. Maybe because it was the last show, the third show of the night on a Saturday, but he was just killing, like no pause. He would kill for like 20 minutes material. Then he'd do a little crowd work, and then he'd go back into material, but just fucking killing. And Nate Bargatze's selling, doing arenas. So it's a fucking joke. Nate Bargatze, if Leno was a 10 in his stand-up prime, Nate Bargatze's like a 3. And I'm being fair. I'm being fair. He's slow talking. He, everything's about his wife, and it's just fucking. I mean, Leno used to do jokes about his wife too, but he said his wife. Leno was saying on Letterman, he goes, they had a cat, and the cat got out of the house. So his wife goes, go in the car and try to find the cat, and he goes, like, the cat's gonna stick to the main roads. So it's just fucking great jokes, and just like. But back then you had to have great jokes. You couldn't just be. I don't know. Now it's all this. I don't know. Nate Bargatze. That's all you need to know. I mean, Chad was tweeting it today, and I was like, I go. I know this is not a joke, but I'm like, I know they can't get actors to host SNL because of the strike, but like Nate Bargatze.
Damn.
He was just at Skankfest, I think, wasn't he?
Twice. He's most well known for his 2 appearances at Skankfest. I think he said. Shit, I mean,
people say I'm bitter. I'm just realistic. Like, I'm telling you the facts. Jay Leno was fucking 10 times the comedian fucking Nate Bargatze is, and he was probably thrilled when he went from comedy clubs to theaters. I mean, he was working every week and he was making a ton of money touring, but he was still like, oh shit, I'm a fucking theater act now.
Have you heard Jay Leno's recent act? He sprays gasoline all over his face and lights it on fire. It's fucking crazy shit.
All right, I'm gonna cut you loose, seriously, Stevie Lou. So tell us about your fight. Seriously, don't. I mean, that's a sad part about you fucking hacks, where you're like Jay Leno's the old fuck. Jay Leno was great. Jay Leno was like fucking Elvis when he was before he hosted the talk show, before he got the Tonight Show. I mean, it was just I hadn't started doing stand-up yet, but I was shocked by how fucking great he was.
Things changed a lot. That's true, but it was comedy boom. I mean, like, there were so many clubs, and he was like, I mean, it was, people compared it to rock and roll. People said comedy is the new rock and roll. I mean, people said shit like that. It was
but he was but I'm saying, but he was doing stand-up way before the comedy boom. So when the comedy boom hit, and he was part of the comedy boom, because the comedy boom had a lot to do with Letterman and the Letterman show, and they introduced a lot of new comics, but listen, I try to be fair with these younger guys. Like, I'm sure whenever I see clips of Nate Bargatze, I'm like, the material is amusing, but it's not hilarious, and it's all what my wife said. Like, my wife said this, my wife said that, and it's like, okay, we get it. Well, marriages are a hoot. I can attest to that. There are a fucking million laughs.
But it's authentic to him, and that's what really, I think that's. I'm not devil's advocate or anything, but at least he's not just like, trying to go all milquetoast when he, like Cosby being like all, deviant, druggy, like whatever it was he was doing, and then doing this nice guy bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
but you don't know he's not doing that. I mean, we didn't catch Cosby for 30 years. He was doing it. So maybe Nate Bargatze's drugging bitches while he's on the road.
Probably.
I mean, we all got duped by Bill Cosby. I'm not going to get duped by Nate Bargatze. I know he's up to some underhanded shit.
Fool me twice, won't get fooled again.
Well, they said there were whispers going around about Bill for a long time, and I don't hear. I mean, I know I'm not connected like you, but I don't hear any whispers about Nate, at least.
Well, the reason there were whispers, I think, with Bill Cosby is because a lot of that shit, it wasn't against the law back then.
Plus, he was black. You know how people hate black people.
Great point.
They're always trying to take him down. Gustav, pay her and divide her loyalty as an actual counter and tell. Hey, whatever Gustav tells me to do now, I'm going to do, because he played Chad. I mean, I'm still in awe of how he kept sending in super chats, basically just painting Chad into a corner, backing Chad into a corner, and Chad was eventually was like, yeah, right, you're right, Gustav. Yeah, I was at that club with that girl, with that female comic from Norfolk. Chad's like, yeah, 'cause she kept seeing she from Norfolk. I was like, who the fuck brags about that? Tonight's show is going to be great. Thanks, O'Sullivan. I do these for you, O'Sullivan. Hello, Pores.
With his dollar something. Look, nothing wrong with being poor. Except it sucks.
Except you can't get in the chat. Zimbabwean Cupcake. Now you're stuck with Ray forever. Enjoy it, sucker. Whenever it's any super chats about Ray, I'm gonna make sure it's not a lady eating shit because those are usually ones. Those are usually ones that get me. And I think I'll probably send Ray a link at some point because I don't want to make it all about Ray because I got to talk about Stevie Lewis. It's like the Mike Douglas show, the Merv Griffin show. I'm gonna have a bunch of guests and they're all gonna. I don't want everyone talking over each other. But yeah, I do feel a little stuck with Ray. And listen, all I said about Ray was that if Shuli ain't paying him, why should I pay him? I mean, what the fuck? Shuli pays him $50 a week. Like, what? And he don't even pay him after he does it. He makes him wait till he gets his YouTube money the following month.
And you made him the offer right when he was on the show. You know, like I'll pay the $50 if you just quit Shuli.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I will. Jesus Christ. I don't know when I made him money practically.
But you also said you'd never give him another nickel. So it's like,
yeah. And Johnny Carson said,
either way you go, you're right.
Johnny Carson said, if I ever let him back, I'm a bitch.
John Carson. And then he was on the show that day.
That was, I don't know. I think that's when he came out to announce he was going to do the show later today.
Yeah, he was promoting his show where he was going to go and piss off Carlos Danger, his last friend.
His last friend. I'm stuck with Ray forever.
I don't know.
Send Matthew Perry the link. Who saw that coming? Just everybody.
They didn't find any drugs on the scene. Is the weird thing. I mean, like, who drowns in a jacuzzi without drugs?
Yeah, but he probably did all the drugs. You know, the best drug taker was Artie Lang because remember one time there were drugs in his car, but he couldn't get into his car. He had lost the keys to his car. So maybe the same thing with Matthew Perry. Maybe he knows to leave his drugs in his car. Because I don't know if they can search his car. Like they go in and find a dead body, but can they? If there's no dead body in his car, can they search his car?
And if the keys are out of the car, he can't get a DWI.
Right.
You know that.
Right. So the point is, if you're going to do drugs, kids, leave the drugs in your car. Do the drugs. Take them outside. Put them when you're done. If you have any extra, any drug paraphernalia, put them in your car. And so in case something happens, they'll say there's no drugs on the scene.
Sweep up all the residue and everything.
Yesterday, KB was out of it and got through the show without the Levy special. You hear that, Bobby? Oh, yeah.
He's talking about a little bit of disco dust.
Oh, yeah. Where's Rob Saul? Yesterday, KB was out of it and got through the show without the Levy special. You hear that, Bobby? Let's get red mouth. I'm drinking the red mouth stuff today, the medicine. Thank you, Furious. Furious has been killing it all week. Pay her. Yeah, well, you read this. I want to do it again. Gustav is my new leader. Whatever he says, I'm going to do. I'm going to pay her and divide her loyalty. Rapey Ray, good news, KB. Brian McCarthy, Aaron Berg, and Kumi are still a no. But I spoke to Matthew Berry's agent yesterday. He said he can do next Friday. Too soon.
Shit.
Too soon, Rapey Ray. You know that. Pay Kate just because she doesn't like. Yeah, I was going to do that. Chad blocked her. Chad blocked her on Twitter.
Yeah, she's a 24-year-old, like nothing. Like she's a sweet
orphan.
Girl.
She's an orphan.
She's an orphan. 24-year-old orphan, and Chad has gotten his shit pushed in by a quadriplegic and a 24-year-old orphan in a fucking few week span. Like,
is that her credit? Orphan?
Practically.
She just come on and like look around like lonely and scared and shit.
The fact that her dad killed on his first Tonight Show, I mean, literally killed. I watched it again last night, and he literally killed. And it was like it was tricky to do because you had to do that like I Don't Care song at the end, and then they only had like a minute and a half left in his set. I was looking at the time. I'm like, he don't have a lot of time to do all the shenanigans that he has to do to get the full Kevin Meaney effect. He pulled it off, and the fact that he died broke practically, other than his IR fucking A and his life insurance. I mean, seriously. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she practically she is a show business orphan as far as I'm concerned.
He must have had real expensive taste and shit like that. But I mean, when you watch Kevin Meaney, didn't he just reek showbiz professional from the moment he hit the stage? I mean, he was really like that. He was old school.
Yeah, but you didn't. Yeah, but he wasn't like a he. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to say he's not a hack, but it just came like he wasn't thinking like I want to become like Liberace. He just that was just his act. He was basically making fun of those guys almost, the guys that were like very theatrical. I mean, he came out of Boston. All those Boston guys were like Lenny Clark and those guys. So he was like the exception to the rule when it came to the Boston guys.
Lenny Clark was the guy with all the pigs and stuff. The pigs, like he had a bunch of like a bunch of props and shit. Different guy.
No, yeah, he was just a straight-laced Boston Irish guy, tough motherfucker. Apparently, he would like knock people out.
No, they're all drug addicts and alcoholics, all of them.
What's their name?
Penny Bergeron.
Was Steve Martin. Remember Steve Martin, how big he got? I mean, he was huge as a stand-up.
Yeah, but he became a cultural phenomenon too. It wasn't like he didn't do it through a fucking website. He did it through being on Johnny Carson a lot and SNL and all kinds of shit.
He had a hit single too, King Tut.
Yeah, so it wasn't like he wasn't just like talking about his wife.
I think Nate Bargatze is about on par with Steve Martin.
Yeah, you're right. Very, very innovative. Hey, let me talk about my wife. I wonder if people will like that. That's all comedy clubs are. Everywhere you go, it's just people on dates with their wives. I mean, in most cities, people get married early. So they're usually with their wives or with their girlfriend. That's Comedy Club 101. Talk about them drinking because they have to drink. There's 2 drink minimum. And most people are on dates or they're getting married. It's a bachelorette party. So
how long have you folks been together? And no matter what they say, you have something to work with.
The safest way to get into comedy is talk about dating or fucking or anything relationship based.
Butt fucking.
Uncle Stokely, you're right. I'm gonna pay Kate just because she doesn't.
I was gonna say, and she's like a pretty Sheba Mason. She's like a funny, attractive.
Well, who isn't? Compared to Sheba Masons, everybody's pretty.
Yeah, I guess that is.
I mean, a pretty Sheba Mason.
A pretty Sheba Mason. I mean, okay, if you insist.
She was not. I like Sheba, and she was. I don't know if she still books it, but during the lockdown and everything, or whatever, when she had a secret room up above a bar, it was cool.
I was just the father was a comedian thing.
Jackie Mason. Right,
yeah. Stevie, you're a little foggy from yesterday, right?
Yeah. I feel all right. I'm having a beer. I stopped drinking during training. That's something like Nick tells you from Rocky.
Yeah.
So once I got through this, I started drinking again. So cheers. Skol.
But you drank last night?
Yeah, Ryan and I went to the bar across the street and totally squashed everything. It's
one thing kind of led to another, and
we blew each other in the bathroom. And
well, you guys
he gave me a haircut. You gave me a haircut. Yeah, man, you didn't watch?
No, but you had the fight, and then you went over the bar and squashed the beef.
It's a really remarkable phenomenon where you could talk all the shit you want, and you go and hash it out in the ring like that, and then as soon as it was over, any kind of animosity was like. Honestly,
thank God.
I have no anything I said before the fight. It's all water under the bridge.
Thank God Ali Frazier didn't go to a bar after fight number 1 because he wouldn't have had 2 or 3.
Well, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't fight him again because I think it's a phenomenal job by him to Here's the thing: I'm a foot taller than him, but we are in the same weight class. And that's how boxing works. Unfortunately, it's what your weight is. So, we were.
Why unfortunately? Shouldn't it be weight?
Because it should be weight. That's what I'm saying. Like he had a lot of power. I had a lot of reach. He absolutely got in on me a couple times and hit me hard. But I was able to kind of work what I was good at. I think better.
And
but
how long
at the end of the day,
how long did you fight time wise?
We did 3 3-minute rounds. So. Which I'm glad we did 3 rounds because if we went past 3 rounds, I was already starting to feel it, man. Boxing is not fun.
Yeah, you get tired. Your arms get real tired when you throw a lot of punches.
I can't imagine. I mean, like it's you're all tensed up, right? Because it's a fight situation. So like all that tension is it wears you out.
They tell you to not be tense. So like your first natural reaction is to be tense in the shoulders when you're in a fight. But any good coach would tell you to relax your shoulders, relax your neck and head, because if you're tense, you will lose energy faster. So like technically, like when you're punching, you're supposed to keep your hands loose until you land the punch, because if any squeezing besides punching is taking away energy. I don't know. I don't want to bore
when you connected on a punch, did you ever say to Asian Pat Dixon?
No.
And did you ever say?
No.
Did you ever say enjoy?
He will confirm this. He said that he was going to say it to me, and at one point in the second round, I had him in the corner, and I went enjoy with my mouthpiece in. And he had a little laugh out of it. And I said it to him after the fight, too. I was like, did you remember that? Because he said he was going to make me say, or he was going to say it to me. And, you know, at the end of the day, we were honestly, it was very, very impressed with Ryan's skill set and his athleticism. He definitely laid.
You guys will never fight again. You guys are in love.
Well, I would love to like start like a whole series where like next time we do MMA rules, because I think that would give him a better fair chance. If, you know,
I thought it was a draw.
Yeah, we didn't have a judge. It was just like it was thrown together amateur event. There were no judges scoring cards. The people that were in charge of the gym called it a draw.
Totally. From my vantage, it looked like a totally pro setup. It looked like a professional. Yeah, with the
announcer there. You saw the
ski mask.
Ski mask doing play-by-play.
Everybody
will remember that what he was saying, Stevie keeps hitting him with uppers, but Ryan keeps going for lowers. That was Ski Mask's fucking commentary.
I thought he was saying uppers and downers, but uppers and lowers,
right, which would make
even
sense
better
for me with the fucking whole, you know. But no, uppers. Like I listened to it on the way home, and it's kind of adorable. It's like if a 12-year-old was like trying to do a fight commentary who knows nothing about anything, but tried like hell. So that's the thing. He had
when the fight was over, he just goes, "All right, that's it." Click.
Yeah,
post interviews or anything like that. Yeah, just all right. He couldn't wait to shut his phone off. It was ridiculous.
Maybe his battery was going down.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I could have had somebody come up and try to actually produce it, but that would have had to cost money, and I don't have a lot of money. So I was like, "Hey, Ski Mask,
did you guys
help
get
me out
super
here?"
chats?
I think so. That was I got some help from Deadfool because equipment and gym time is expensive. So I did put a lot of my own fucking money into it, and then Deadfool did help me out a bunch. So thank you, Mr. Deadfool. I was like Team Deadfool. I had the whole get up going, but Ski Mask wanted to get involved. Yeah, we had like the numbers. So anybody who didn't know Ryan and myself or this whole world and was like a part of it was blown away by the amount of live views we had, by the amount of people who were stream sniping it and doing their own commentary. You know, say what you will about me. I'm a shitty person. I look like shit. I'm a fucking ass. We did put on
that's
something.
Mostly just from Pat Dixon.
Right. My family. So we did
but
put on
he could have walked around with the camera or something. He could have made it more interesting. I mean, couldn't he or no?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will say this, and let's
by
see
law,
if I can make
he had
this
to
happen.
stay in that one spot.
Yeah, or take the mask off.
I just uploaded a better angle with a 4K. I took a static wide angle shot at a better vantage point that I just uploaded to my channel just before this. So we'll put that out there. So if folks want to rewatch it, you can like hear more of the shots hitting. And then I had my friend David filming me on the way up and the fight from the ringside. So we're going to actually put together a small mini doc where we're going to like take the clips of Ryan and I arguing on here. You know, we might even bring the whole, we'll see how far we go into the whole thing. But my friend David's going to put together a little documentary about this whole event. So, you know,
wild, man. That's wild. That's I'm just impressed the whole thing even happens. I mean, you hear about everybody all the time.
Everybody was
never occurs.
I think everybody was a little shocked.
Now it's Melton Steel Toe. We got to make Melton Steel Toe happen.
I mean, I think that there's really this creator clash stuff where you got the Jake Pauls, the KSIs are obviously the higher level of this, but there is a level to it. So why can't we start chunking up the lower half and start working our way up? I think
there's no money in it. You guys didn't make any money unless Deadpool gives you guys money.
There were eyeballs. Like I'm telling you, man, like the guy who was my corner guy.
So you want to do a pay-per-view next time?
Pay-per-view. That's a good idea.
Or just like have a venue, because we threw this like at a gym on their off hours.
Like, listen, if Pat Dixon was going to fight Gino Bisconte, maybe you could do that.
I know that's tough to happen,
but it'd have to be
something along those lines. Yeah, well, the bottom line is there's enough fucking animosity in this.
It would have to be a compelling fight.
I think we can make cards. I think we can make cards. And honestly, I think there we go. Pat versus Chrissy in a chocolate pudding match.
A couple of speed bags.
Pat's gonna fight Chrissy Mayer.
I would. Her, I would fight.
I would watch it.
We gotta wait till she's not pregnant anymore.
No.
I would pay for Pat Dixon to fight any lady.
I'll wait till she's further along pregnant.
Jesus.
I would fight like pregnant Chrissy Mayer 8.5 months. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh,
heavy bag.
This is like the Andy Kaufman, but for pregnant women. Like,
right.
Didn't he fucking beat up a bunch of ladies?
He's like, I'm getting beaten up for 2, so give it to me good.
Yeah, Pat's like, you call me a woman beater, huh? Well, bam! Now you
enjoy both of them.
Who said I don't treat women well? And then you give her a fucking left hook. St. Ranger, howdy, Pam. Glad you and St. Ranger. Howdy, Pam. Glad you and St. Ranger are in the audience. St. Ranger says you raised snowmobiles growing up, and you could beat your mother's 2 brothers arm wrestling.
So someone bugged me out.
He's talking to Pam?
They said that it's like planes, trains, and automobiles, where Pam passed away like a year or 2 ago, and he's just like doing this crazy thing.
But sometimes they're not together. Sometimes they're not together.
It's definitely not that. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Not together currently. But
I love St. Ranger. I'm just making jokes there. But someone said that the other day, and that cracked me the fuck up.
Yeah, they say a lot of stuff.
A lot of shit, yeah.
Let's go to Gustav. A note from yesterday at no time. That's what Ray says that all the time. At no time when he was talking to when he's making his Declaration of Independence, and then Carlos Danger came on. Ray likes to say that at no time, he has a classic clip on here where he's like, at no time was I ever intending to have sex with anyone. I mean, it's just, he's always at no time
was I ever intending to have sex with anyone.
Yeah, that's a clip we have. Ray said it on the show.
Words are never spoken.
At no time did I ever plan on having sex with anyone. A note from yesterday. At no time I ever go to a show of Chad's. Oh, wait. A note from yesterday. At no time I ever go to a show of Chad's. I went to Godfrey's show, and the second I went to a wedding, and the groom's dad brought tickets to a show for something to do the night before. But wait, so wow. So you saw Chad twice by accident?
Talk about unlucky.
That's like getting struck by lightning twice. Wait. So one time you saw Godfrey at Schaumburg, and then Chad was there, and then you went to a wedding. The groom's dad bought tickets to a show for something to do. Oh, that's incredible.
Who is it? The Chad somebody.
I mean, you go to 2 random shows and Chad's on both of them, and then
says he's the mud shark.
Then he's a regular here. Oh my God, Gustav, we got to send you the link someday. Peter Boothroyd, I was in a French restaurant and asked the waiter, "You got frog's legs?" He said, "Yes." So I said, "Well, hop into the kitchen and get me a ham sandwich."
Boom.
Why are you doing I don't know.
I don't know. That's is that a meanie? Could be a meanie joke.
I don't know. Pat looks like Cozy TV is done. No more. What? Is that true, Pat?
Well, I heard something about this, and it's not coming up right now. But I mean, I'm not hearing anything about it. I mean, if you know anything about it, tell me, because I don't know. I mean, like it's strange. I did it last night. I did a stream for over 9 hours, like 9 hours and 20 minutes.
Maybe you broke it. Maybe you broke Cozy TV.
I think I might have. broken it. Yeah.
Twitter goes down for fucking a couple hours sometimes. So
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it goes
it
down for
used
like
to.
6 minutes.
It used to.
Well, you know, Cozy's not nearly as big as Twitter.
Exactly. So
really, are you sure about that?
it's probably
at no time was Cozy ever as big as Twitter.
At no time was Cozy gonna fuck Twitter. But like, I don't know if it's down. I mean, I hope
what
not.
Is Cozy? Who runs Cozy?
Nick Fuentes.
Oh yeah, it's down. The government shut it down. That's the one that Kumi always yelling at, right?
Compound Media goes down sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping it's no big deal, but I mean, it seems like it's been. I mean, people are talking about it. Like, you know, this is the second person to bring it up to me and ask. So I don't know.
If they were going to cut and run like that, the only reason would be if they had some sort of a legal situation, which I just don't see just reasonably why a big company that's operating the way they would just suddenly just go blank.
It's not a big company. It's not a big company.
It's big enough.
Big website. I mean, they get a lot of traffic.
You're right. It's no Rumble, but
it has no BitChute.
Same range or hi Pat. It's great to see you on Kevin's Live Saturday night. Oh shit! I hope Nate Bargatze's aren't going to fuck up our numbers. Hi Pat. It's great to see you on. Here's my prediction: Nate Bargatze will never be back on Saturday Night Live, especially if there's not another fucking strike. He won't even be able to get tickets for the fucking show in the future. Is my prediction.
He'll be through in show business after this, probably.
No, but they just like they're using him because he's like, I'll do it. Hi Pat, and then he's using them to help sell tickets. Hi Pat, it's great to see you on Kevin's Live Saturday Night Show. Pam and I wanted to say howdy to you. Thanks you for your shows on Locals and Cozy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I have a Saturday Night Live hack. I wait until the next morning, and it's on NBC, Peacock, and you watch the first skit because that's the one with the guests that they put a lot of time into. You watch the monologue. And then you go to the news section because I will say that Che is still pretty funny when he does the news. And then maybe the music, if the music guest was good. But then everything else, I fucking just don't even pay attention to. And that's how I get through it.
Gotcha. You don't like the fake commercials?
Okay, if I see a fake commercial pop up, I will maybe. Okay, the non-live skits, maybe I'll give it a chance because you're right. The well-produced shit that they do out of house does sometimes hit.
I think Asian life hack as I go on YouTube and I find something with like John Lovitz or some shit like that. You know,
the old stuff was a lot better.
Yeah, but not necessarily all the way back. I mean, that first cast was great and everything. I'm sure that they're the originators, but I think it was better. You know, after that shitty stage that it went through, I mean, like it's got a lot of interesting ups and downs. But I like that Anna Gasteyer and all those fuckers.
Farley was there. Farley there was a fucker. He was a killer, man.
Phil Hartman made the show.
Hartman was great.
Yeah, that was the best era, probably the Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman.
Right before Will Ferrell got there, and Will Ferrell did a decent job.
Will Ferrell was a good era, but I'm saying that era of
he
Phil
was the
Hartman,
one after, you know.
Yeah,
like Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell weren't bad.
They weren't that good. That was when the ladies
great, but compared to today,
when they get a black guy they like, they keep him forever. It's like Tim Meadows, 15 years, and then I forgot the guy from Good Burger, 15 years. I think he's the longest running.
Yeah, he is. Keenan and Kel. Keenan Thompson.
That's crazy.
No,
that's the guy. Hold on, Keenan Thompson, aka the guy who got Chris Redd beat up outside of the cellar.
AKA, but no,
allegedly.
No, they got to keep. That's the black people they get. They get the whitest black people, or the blackest black people. They get Tracy Morgan and Keenan Thompson. Like Tracy Morgan, they literally grabbed off the D train, and he was at 30 Rock. It was great. I mean, he couldn't be more ghetto.
Yeah.
And then the other guy is like Al Roker. It's just. They like black guys that white people feel totally comfortable with, and or Leslie Jones.
Yeah, Michael Che's brother is a sergeant in the NYPD, so
that's cool.
We could say pretty much where he lies in that equation.
Who's the other guy, the white guy that's with him? I forget. What's his name?
Well, it used to be Colin Jost, but I think
he's not there anymore.
I don't. Maybe the new season just
he's
started.
Still there.
Well, this new season started last week, and I didn't watch last week. So I guess if he's still there, I apologize. I heard
Nate Bargatze is going to be the new Weekend Update guy.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's right. I'm talking about Weekend Update with a guy who fucking was on Weekend Update. What is wrong with me?
Who? Pat Dixon?
You motherfucker. Oh,
well, you got me. You were in a fight yesterday, so you're not.
My head's
you're not,
a little
you don't have all
dinged
your
up.
senses.
Yeah.
David Skywalker.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Who?
Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah.
He was so fucking good. Did you ever watch that shit? You know, like watch it now. He doesn't give a shit. I mean, like you know how a lot of his jokes are just saying stuff. You know, the punchline will be like, "Cause OJ is a murderer." It's like, damn.
Yeah, but what people don't understand is he already did that joke, so he knew it wasn't going to do well because they do a tech run at 8 o'clock.
Dress rehearsal. They call it dress rehearsal.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, Steve. I used to work there, but
I'm in the business.
Me. Go
I'm
ahead.
in the business. Right. All right. So
no, I used to literally work there. They do a tech run and then they do a dress rehearsal. Yeah, I misspoke. Anyway, they do a dress rehearsal. So these jokes are not new. When Norm bombs with them, like when you see a joke on YouTube bomb, he already did it. He knows it's going to bomb. He's basically just going, fuck you to the audience. I like the joke. I'm going to do it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He just doesn't give a shit.
And like Bill Burr pointed out very poignantly, it was like when they told him to stop with the OJ jokes, everybody else would have stopped because it was like, you know, in 1995, Comedy Central and all these other platforms didn't exist. So if you had a job on a network, you held on to it with your fucking life, you know? So anybody else would have been like, yes, sir, I will stop with the OJ jokes. Norm was like, nope. David Skywalker, open up the chat to us poors, you hack. Big fan. They've got to get Stuttering John into that would be
That would be fucking great, though.
Let's do his whole monologue on Shuley. It would just be like, what the fuck?
Right. Hey, how about Levy?
Yeah. I heard Bob got a dog.
Stop talking about my kids.
Oh my God.
The potato.
Potato.
He's more famous than Nate Bargatze. I mean, literally, more people know Stuttering John than Nate Bargatze.
He's selling out theaters too, arenas.
Thank you, JT. I don't know who JT is. Oh, somebody gifted a bunch of. Speaking of pores, vaping gave us a bunch of.
That's the guy who keeps fucking Carlos Danger's goddamn channel afloat.
Yeah, and Ray DeVito kept Ray DeVito afloat for years. Thank you, vaping, of course. And thank you for giving to the community and Carlos Danger. I guess he gifted Carlos Danger, I think, some more today. So, because when they I got
an idea. How about we start putting all this money into a 401k for Ray? Because I don't think he's doing a lot of good with that money that ends up back to him. He's buying 6-packs and new bobbleheads. The
solution to that is give him more money.
We need to have like a conservatorship. I feel like Ray needs to have a conservatorship
for him. I get you. Okay.
Yeah. Like he had Carlos Danger fucking write up his whole entire speech the other day. He doesn't have his own facilities anymore. So he needs to have some conservatorship. He needs to have this sort of agency.
I think Carlos's enabling days are over, though. He had a lot to say about that.
I saw that
today. Him and the orange.
He also had a lot of ice cream today. So
who's JT? Yet another.
Nate Bargatze, greater than KB. Congrats, Nate.
Oh, that's mean.
Wow.
That's mean, Colt C. I thought
You're watching this instead of the show he's on.
Yeah, what? That doesn't make any sense. Let's see how Nate I can't even fight these guys. These Colt C's like, I tell it like it is. I watched Shuley Network, and I like a good work. I think this whole Nate Bargatze thing's a work.
It's a work.
Gustav, KB, Old Town has gotten super expensive, and I moved from Chicago to New York City 8 years ago. Yeah, of course, Old Town was expensive back then, but yeah, it's of course going to get expensive. It's close to downtown. It's close to the lake. It's fucking beautiful part of the city.
It is nice.
I miss it already. I haven't been there in 50 years or whatever. Gustav, the legend. Hawkeye, first time, long time. I tried to get Opie to move to come on MLC. His ego is unrelenting. I know. I saw it. I retweeted it. Is that you, Hawkeye? It was fucking great. Opie's like, I'm gonna. What do you say? I'm gonna put your ego aside, and Opie's like, I'm not gonna put my ego aside to go on Kevin Brennan's podcast. Maybe I'll put my ego aside to go on Bill Burr's podcast or Bert Kreischer's podcast. But Kevin Brennan, and I retweeted. I said, "Made my day," because I'm not gonna let these motherfuckers get to me. These Colt C's and Opies and Anthony's. No, but Opie, I think I'm doing better than Opie. You know why? Because Opie's done. Opie peaked, and now he's sitting at home with his kids, and he's got nothing to do. I do 8-9 shows a week. Red Bar hasn't done a show since September 8th.
Really?
Yes.
What happened to Red Bar? Why isn't he doing? I mean, I know Red Bar's not necessarily.
I don't know, but these guys. I don't think you should be peaking, Opie, when you're 35 or 40 years old, unless your kids. But Opie had old kids when he's old. So did I. But now Opie's sitting around with his kids, playing with their granimals,
like a fucking fruit,
like a panini. So the thing you really want when you have kids is to stay busy, because when you're busy, the time goes by quicker. When you got nothing to do, you sit around. Your kids are fucking dull, and you don't have a lot in common with your kids. So after a while, you're like, Jesus Christ, I like to talk to anybody but fucking children. I mean, unless you're a pedophile. So my point is, Opie's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know, Opie, but it's going to get real boring if it hasn't already.
Yeah, so fuck you, Opie.
He's waiting for an invite from fucking Berg Kreischer and these guys, and they might have him on, but if you're on one time, who cares? But thank you for trying to get him on. And
there's no way. Link. Yeah, there's no, that's a very nice thing for you to say, but there's no fucking way that's happening.
There's no way what's happening.
Like those guys that you just said that he used to help out.
They might, but if he's on,
around.
if he's
the reason why I say that is because there'll never be an Opie and Anthony reunion. The only reason that would ever happen is if there's an Opie and Anthony reunion. Without Opie and Anthony, the singular person by themselves has lost their power.
Of course, but I'm saying, I
just don't. It's nice of you to say. I just don't think that's.
Even if he's on once, who cares? If he's on, I was on Bert Kreischer show. It doesn't do anything for you. It's
okay. If he gets,
we're living in a content-driven society. So my point is, I do 8-9 shows a week. Red Bar hasn't done one since September 8th. Opie's living in an Opie and Anthony fucking shadow, and then he thinks he's going to get something going based on what? It's not going to happen. But he's like, he won't come on my show. Good. But if he goes on Bert Kreischer show one time, does it matter? No. Fucking Dave Smith has been on Rogan 10 times. He can't sell tickets at Governors.
Fuck. Yeah, I mean, as far as having Opie on, I mean, he would be better off if he wasn't doing anything rather than what he's doing. I think. Just completely drop out and then come back hard, and do the Where Are They Now tour or some shit like that.
I mean, Ray DeVito's making more money than Opie right now. That's a fact.
Boom. And he just did his job.
He needs another angle, Pat. You're absolutely right. The angle he's going at right now is
maybe sports and news. Is that what you're saying?
If I was going to give Opie a hypothetical new job, it would to be doing those that was the 90s sort of show, one of these retro shows, because he was now at this point.
Yeah, but they don't make those anymore.
You should join the potato.
You should join the fucking.
You know how they take sometimes those Nopey shows? They cut Opie out, and
there's a whole.
I cut everybody else out and listen to only Opie.
Or he cuts himself back in.
Yuppie. You call it Yuppie instead of Opie.
Only Opie. And those old shows are a hoot that way. Come on. And then it's 3 minutes of silence.
Oh, my God. That's brilliant.
Thank you, Hawkeye. Please, no Ray tonight. Haven't we suffered enough? Don't you want to hear what Ray has to say about what's happening? Plus, Ray will be high and drunk tonight because he's celebrating his independence. Mike McGinnis, here's some complimentary money. Enjoy. Thank you, Mike McGinnis.
So I got something. Did you guys hear? I'm hearing.
If I was Opie right now, I'd be like going with my pals, like high-fiving and going, hey, give us another round over here, because Mike McGinnis gave us $25. I said, say Opie acts like he's got this figured out, and it's like, Opie, we can see you're not doing well. So you could come on my show or any of these shows, or and then do other shows. You know, you to just go on Bert Kreischer's show, they're not going to have him on anyway because it would feel weird. But to just do one episode, nobody's going to give a shit. It's not going to make him any money. Opie's not going to go on to fucking even if he went on Rogan a couple of times. It's like he's just going to tell old fucking O&A stories, and there are people going to sign up for Opie's fucking whatever. There's nothing to sign up for.
And he'll be like, I don't want to talk about all that old stuff.
Right.
I mean, it's like, that's what are you talking about?
Yeah. Why is everyone drag this up? It's like
he's in a glass elevator or something when he does those shows. I'm like, where is he right now? I mean, like, what is he? I mean, like, slum it a little bit. You know what I mean? Mix with the people. I mean, you're not going to get some kind of, not everything is going to be some great career.
Right. Everything's beneath him. Everything's beneath him. So he won't do my show. Because he's like, I'm not do Kevin Brennan's show. I don't blame you. I don't even want to do my show most of the time. But it's like you still gotta do stuff. You can't just be waiting for the fucking Tonight Show with Johnny Carson to show up.
Right. Yeah, totally. I mean, like he had Chad on. Him and Chad sat and talked. Right. Remember Opie had Chad on?
But he'll say Chad did my show. He wants me to go do his show. He's not gonna do my show.
Why the fuck would you
do that? But
if
more people watch my show, and I do better with the chats and the super chats than he does. And my show's not just about O&A constantly, because the only thing he even addresses in the chat is the O&A question. He's like, again? And then he's the guy who addresses it, you know? He could just ignore it if he didn't. But there's nothing else to talk about.
So many funny things he could do. He could like do a video of like, I'm auditioning the new Anthony, and then do a fake video of people coming in and auditioning Anthony or something.
Just get a bunch of racist Italians from Long Island to come in one by one. Good. Like
it would be something, you know, some kind of angle rather than.
Oh, that would be actually be funny.
I mean, he came up with like what? We're having beer tasting day. This is it's got a lot of wheat in it, and I mean, I'm not making fun of a guy who's a legend, really, but I mean, act like a legend. Do something legendary.
It's not in his power alley. It's not in his fucking, you know, you got to find what you could do well here. And I think, again, like get him with a better packaged, well-produced, edited sort of thing. Not
he needs a studio. He needs a
studio, editor, producer, all that shit. He don't have that.
Yeah, once he lost the show at a Sirius, he was like, he used to show himself like walking around the streets, like dragging his equipment like a fucking Barry Ribs.
He used to sit in his car a lot too.
So or alternate side of the street parking. Yeah, that's a problem in New York City.
No, but not if you're rich. Just fucking get parking.
Yeah,
get monthly. And then they were stealing his fucking side mirrors, and it was like third time this week. And I'm like, just fucking pay for parking.
What do you keep replacing it, and then they come and get it again in a week?
Because he thought he was going to have a bit out of it. No, it'd be like if you have a radio show and it's good content, but if you don't have a radio show, it's not good that they're stealing your mirrors.
He should do like one of those spicy eating taste, you know, the one bite challenge of hot stuff just all by himself. Just sit there like
or like the guy from what's that guy's name?
Man
he
versus
does the pizza, one bite pizza thing.
The Dave Portnoy from
Dave Portnoy,
Barstool.
Yeah, he's like, and then Opie would be like, I'm going to do 2 bites.
It's my take. Did you see Ari Jane made a splashy return tonight?
Wait, I heard first of all, I heard her daughter she was promoting her daughter's OnlyFans.
Yeah. So, you know, everybody go to her OnlyFans, Ari Jane's daughter's OnlyFans. That's exciting, right? I mean, very cute girl and
come on, Pat.
What? Just trying to help. No, she's a nice lady.
No, I somebody told me and
no, I don't have any problems with that, Ari Jane.
I'm not mad at Ari Jane's daughter for having an OnlyFans.
Wait, what's their fucking thing?
Look at him. He can't sign up quicker. Holy shit.
No, I want to give out her thing. It's God ring neck. One word. Don't talk. God ring neck. That's her daughter and her OnlyFans on that thing. That's her Twitter. God ring like a wedding ring. God ring neck. Now people are like, why don't you have your wedding ring on? I'll tell you why.
Oh.
During the pandemic, me and my wife got into a big fight. I just took it off. I never put it on because I'm like, first of all, a wedding ring's a joke. Second of all, during the pandemic, where am I going? So even in theory, a wedding ring is about like I'm committed to this woman and I'm never gonna leave her. But in reality, during the pandemic, I was committed to it whether I liked it or not. I was committed by the state that I had to stay with her. So the wedding ring was superfluous or redundant or whatever the word is.
I see. So you didn't need to have any kind of proof of it. The proof is just that you never leave, and there's no one to prove it to anyway.
I know where to go, so I don't need a wedding ring to be like I'm committed to my wife. I'm committed to her by the state of fucking New Jersey.
Right. It's all in a contract.
Do you guys
think Ari Jane's gonna do OnlyFans next?
I hope. I'll sign up for that. Why don't they do a fucking mother-daughter OnlyFans?
People would love it. I mean, it would be a big look. It'd be a smash. That I might subscribe to.
Where did she make this announcement? On Ray's show?
On her own show. She did a stream tonight, and I don't know what it was called. I heard her saying that she sent Chow the link.
Dr. Chairman Chow?
Dr. Chow.
What is Ray gonna say about this? That's
Ray's
what
probably
I
making. Ray's probably making white right now.
Yeah, there's white everywhere in the Ray
He's like,
DeVito.
fuck Ari Jane. I like that daughter. No, I mean Ari Jane doesn't look that old anyway. So the fact that her daughter is old enough to have an OnlyFans is something. I don't know. I think it's all
25 years old, which is like that's not even young.
She's 25. That's how old her daughter
I think
is?
that's what I've been. That's what I've been passed info wise.
I guess we'll have to have Ray on. Maybe on the third or fourth
And
hour.
I have not seen any pictures. I'm not. That's creepy of me to say. I'm sorry. I just hear things.
What'd you say? That was creepy.
Like the info that was passed to me that she's 25. They're the Dabbleverse is,
She's got to be 18, right?
Yes, which I'm saying she's 25. Which like, Bob's stepdaughter, or anyway, Bob's stepdaughter is only like 23, 24, right?
You think Bob's fucking her?
Turns out, yeah, they went on Maury. He is not the father.
Not the father.
Every porn is stepdad porn, so it's just like Bob's such a hack. Bob's such a hack that he'll just do what everybody else is doing, or he's like, well, a lot of people are doing this, so let me think of it. Let me just do it.
That's what I always watch. The stuff where your stepdad walks in and catches you. Point of view, I
love that.
And leaves.
I gotta take a break and watch one right now. Actually, I'll be right back.
No, it's always great when the stepdad and like the girl are like almost the same age or something. It's like, yeah, no, because the stepdad could be any age. That's the beauty of a stepdad. He could be like a younger guy because they're no relation. They could literally be the same age, and her mom married a younger dude.
Same way with a stepmom. Could be a really young mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we're breaking a lot of new ground here.
Great. Yeah.
Teddy, Mike Vecchione would be a better pick than Nate Bargatze. Really, Nate Bargatze from you know what, dude? From is he from Bobby Kelly?
I guess he used to go on that a lot. I guess.
You know what, Nate?
You know what, Nate?
You think Bobby's
I
there?
think all these guys are jealous. You know why? Because I remember I was talking to Dan Soder one time. And he was at like that shitty club in Rochester last week or whatever. I only say that because Carl's friend owns it and Carl's a piece of shit. But that
it's
shitty
even
club,
got Carl in the name of it.
Carlson,
Comedy in the Carlson.
Comedy Carlson.
Yeah, the Carlson. Maybe they named it the Carlson because of Carl. Anyway, the Carlson and Dan Soder was there last week, and Bobby Kelly I think is there this week. Anyway, I remember talking to Dan Soder not that long ago. He's complaining about how popular Nate Bargatze was getting. And he was like, he goes, yeah, I guess I should feel weird because Nate Bargatze's like doing great. And, and I'm still like, and everyone thinks Dan Soder's having a good career. So all these guys must be losing their fucking minds.
Can you believe how good Nate Bargatze's doing? That's a really deep.
Because when we were starting, like when Attell was blowing up, I was mad, but he wasn't doing the fucking MSG. You know, he was at the Montreal Comedy Festival or on Letterman. But it wasn't like
Attell, right? That kind of took the sting out of it a little bit. I mean, he was Attell.
No, but I was still jealous and resentful. But he wasn't doing arenas. It wasn't the Flyers game or the Rangers game, and then Attell was there the next night. That would have been like, whoa, maybe I should get a job at the Home Depot or something. I would have taken that badly. So I think all these guys are losing their fucking minds. SNL doesn't care about being funny, is about trending on Twitter. Yeah, but Nate Bargatze ain't going to help you tweet. He ain't going to help you go viral or get trending. Aziz may be funny, but how's his tech support? Probably excellent. Aziz.
Claw.
You know, Aziz, when he used to do colleges, when they would come to get him at the hotel, they would shake his hand. He goes, "You just met Aziz Ansari." Seriously,
you just met Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, he would when they would shake his hand, he would say, he didn't say the privilege of basically saying you just had the privilege of meeting Aziz Ansari. And this is how you have to think if you want to become a big star.
I think that boy's he's got a touch of the tism, that boy.
Who?
What's his
Aziz?
name?
Aziz?
Yeah.
No, he's an arrogant prick.
All right.
It's nothing to do with.
I say autism, you say arrogant prick. That's how.
It's nothing to do with autism. When you're arrogant, when you're arrogant, that means you're autistic.
No, because he could just be like just so unaware and so stupid. Whatever.
I think somebody fucking punched the good sense out of you.
I just took a nice bong rip too because my muscles are sore.
Yeah, there's always an excuse to take a good bong rip. You guys friends with Asian funny man Dan Nanan? No, I heard Melton did a good episode with him, right? Is that the guy that Melton did a thing with?
Yeah, supposedly a classic thing. I have not gotten. I mean, I started watching it, and I'm like, this just seems like I never did get to the end of it. But apparently, yeah, he really confronts him on I don't know, being hacky and stupid or something. I mean, I really.
Yeah, but he was a liar too, wasn't he? Lying about how great he was doing.
Maybe.
I miss Melton. You should have him back.
You miss him. He's on every day.
With you.
I don't.
You guys had that whole thing. He would be like, "Yeah, the number one son," and then you guys would laugh. That was fucking classic, man.
We laughed like 3 times. Did Kevin forget? Did Kevin forget? David Scott. Did Kevin forget he was doing his super chat show?
Yeah, you did. You did fall off there for a few minutes. We were just going.
Fall off.
We were riffing. You know?
No, I can't. I can't just read super chats. At the beginning of the show, I like to get a little chemistry going or a little conversation going. Can't just read super chats, especially $2. Skywalker, suck a dick for $2.
Suck a dick,
David Sky
Dick Sucker
Walker.
Yes, Joey C. Joey C's gonna host that.
Holy shit,
Joey Catalano TV.
It's good to be here in New York. Hosting SNL for the first time.
Hey, say hello to my whore wife in the front row.
Yeah. Mr. Big Shot. Mr. Big Shot's going to host it the weekend after that.
He's going to do a guest segment on Weekend Update.
Spider Alomar would have a walk-in role on one of the clips. Like, oh, shit, there's Spider Alomar.
It's nice to be somewhere where there's not Newports all over the place. Lying on my floor.
Yeah, this is a little inside baseball, but if folks haven't seen today's Joey C stream, it was an all-time classic.
They haven't. How many people watched it?
I don't know.
What was classic? What'd they do?
How did you watch
it? Do you really want me?
Were you in bed all day? Because
I actually have been laying in bed all day, but apparently the black guy that lays on his floor all the time allegedly stole $100 worth of cocaine from some drug dealers, and the drug dealers came to get the money back or whatever, and Joey had to chase them off with some sort of slapjack. So he recorded his whole reaction to that interaction on his live stream this morning.
And we can find that all on Joey Catalano TV.
If I know that kind of man, he didn't take it down. He seems to, and it was wild.
Swatted. He has home invaders coming.
He like they all know where he like lives in a strip mall or something.
Yeah. I've heard the whole description. It sounds fucking.
And I got nothing but love for the guy, just so that's clear.
Me too,
but
not me. Me.
John hates me, but I love John.
Wait. So
yeah, he was like.
This was not at work?
No, like it's honestly, it's like I think of a movie where it just gets right to the action. Like the second the movie starts, it's right in it.
And that was Mr. Big Shot?
It was one of those
the drugs?
No, there's another. And apparently I think it's a son-in-law.
There's another grifter black dude.
Right. Yeah, I feel even dumber just trying to describe this to you guys right now. But here we are.
Could be watching a clip.
Yeah, back up, Andy. See if you can find the clip. If it's still up on, what is it, Joey CTV?
Yeah, Catalano TV, I think they call her something like that. It would have been from this morning around 8 a.m. So
this morning? They got drug dealers in the morning?
Yeah, it was bizarre, bro. It was very
I thought they
stop.
I thought they
It's one of those things where like this was all a joke, this was all funny, and then like you see this sort of shit and you're like, this is really depraved and scary. You know, like
they're idiots. They're fucking.
Yeah, you know, I got man.
He got stabbed by his fucking daughter
multiple times.
I mean, he's got one daughter in prison and one dead. It's real.
Yeah, which I don't want to make. I mean, we can make light of things.
I'm not making light of it. I'm just saying that's.
What are you supposed to do? Cry? You know? Supposed to cry?
But that's. We always said terrible. We said we don't talk about people's children.
Okay, they're not children. She's in jail.
Don't talk about my kid.
Dues player.
Did you see that new baloney thing today? It was pretty fucking funny.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. I don't know which one you're talking about, but I retweeted one. The one where he's by himself was the funniest one.
Yeah, he's talking about
the VIP room.
The reason to the card. The reason why that works though is because it works on multiple levels. If you are an old school Aqua Teen Hunger Force fan,
okay, nobody cares. It just works. You got too many punches yesterday
with fruit and nuts. All the amenities of the VIP room. Have you ever had that? Dues pay up.
The way. I don't know if it's a natural. I think he just exaggerates the pauses, but they're ridiculous. It makes it so much funnier.
He's still thinking about it.
The clip is only like 45 seconds long. He has like 8-second pauses, and then it's like that's it. It's just fucking ridiculous. There's literally no payoff, but the payoff is so funny. It is a great payoff. Yeah, with the big pause before he comes to the climax. Any other analysis, Stevie Lou, about comedy? Who gives a fuck why it's funny? Why don't we talk about Nate Bargatze, why he's funny? He's a fucking hack who talks about his wife.
Nate Bargatze.
You see what he did?
SNL's a joke. Bring KB back. Yeah, Teddy, you're right. You lived there when Cabrini Green was still around, 2 to 3 blocks west of your apartment.
Jesus, that's like the projects, yeah.
West, I'm trying to, Division.
He's saying that you used to live right by the project.
I know what he's saying. Cabrini Green was at Division, and but I used to go to the, not the Acme, the Jewel on Division and wherever, and that was the closest I would get to Cabrini Green. And one time I was at Cabrini, it was like an infamous
housing project.
And this one guy was buying, he had like these designer jeans. You know, everyone had designer jeans, and he was paid with his food with food stamps. But he had designer jeans. I was like, this Newport, please.
Jordache, the Jordache jeans.
Yeah, they were something like that. But yeah, I lived close enough, but I was more downtown. But Cabrini Green was real close to the good parts of town.
It's Wrigley Field is not too far from there, isn't it?
They knocked it down. It's
but Wrigley Field is I guess they knocked down. But Cabrini Green, I mean, Wrigley Field is surrounded by Wrigley Field was always kind of blue collar, but then it became so trendy that it became an expensive place to live. Part of where Wrigley was.
Is it okay? I'm gonna grab a beer real quick. You guys can hold it.
No,
hold
it's
it down
not
for me.
okay.
You guys hold it down. I'll be right back.
Yeah, give me a beer. Grab me one.
I'll see. I'm right back.
Yeah, I am thirsty too.
You can't drink though by law.
That's by law. Bob should start a late night show called A Couple Bumps with Bob.
Oh my god, I watched that.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
Couple of bumps.
He's all sped up. You know what I mean? Johnny Be Gone. Hey, Pat, you should sell an apple drink and call it a Pat Dixon cider. Dixon cider.
I didn't even get it. Did you get it right away? You got to do it twice.
Well, I've unfortunately, yeah, I mean, most people have made the joke before, you know.
Oh,
Dixon cider.
Nice going, Johnny Be Gone.
Yep. Gustav again, $10. The Diamond District in Central Midtown and like a block and a half. Hell's Kitchen is Midtown. Okay, so the Diamond District in Central Midtown and like a block and a half. Hell's Kitchen.
He's gonna nail Stevie like he nailed fucking Chad yesterday.
So yeah, Hell's Kitchen is Midtown West, a 10-minute walk away and like 8 blocks. Have you ever lived in Manhattan proper, junkie?
This is for you, Stevie.
No, it's 47th Street. I used to live between 10th and 11th on 47th Street, but if you walk all the way east between 5th and 6th, the Diamond District.
Yeah, but that's a long walk. It was the joke that
Gustav, don't be a fucking cunt. That was the joke that he was making about Kevin or about Todd Barry living on the same street as the Comedy Cellar, even though he lived all the way in the East Village in Lower East Side. So come on, buddy. Like, get off.
Yeah, but he's saying the Diamond District and where you live. You lived in Hell's Kitchen, which is
no, it's not a block and a half. It's between 5th and 6th, and I used to live between 10th and 11th. Hell's Kitchen.
That's like 3 neighborhoods away. Yeah, I mean, you got to go.
It's the same street. It was the same joke that you were making. I literally made the same exact joke that you were making, and I'm getting fucking. Oh, god damn it! I need a cigarette.
He's right though. It's like 10-minute walk, 8 blocks. He just wanted to insult you, and anything.
Well, the whole damn city is like 1.5 miles wide at its widest point.
Yeah, but the neighborhoods change quickly, especially around there. Especially when did you live in Hell's Kitchen, Stevie?
I moved there 2013, 2012.
Yeah,
just when it was named the gay capital of the universe. So that was a lot of fun.
So they invited you right there.
No,
right in?
So actually, it's
right to the front of the line.
What we call the diamond in the rough theory, where if it's all gay dudes in the neighborhood, when a woman finds a straight guy with enough teeth in his mouth and a job, they're like, "Oh wow, let's fuck." So I did okay.
Having an apartment in Manhattan is a big fucking. It'll get you laid. You know what I mean? It's if they don't have to go to fucking Brooklyn or Queens with you.
Especially if you could walk there. If you go to a bar and then walk to your apartment, they don't care how shitty the apartment is. As long as
then you're a comic. You're a comic too. I used to get laid. And
you're talking about yourself.
Pat can tell you, I was as low of
about yourself now,
scraping the lowest level of the barrel. Yes.
Talking about yourself now.
Yes, as a comedian, and I would be at a show where like Ray DeVito. I wasn't even on the show. I just walked in and hoped that maybe I can get on. And some chick would be like, "Oh, are you a comedian?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And next thing you know, you're fucking tongue in her ass.
I like that Stevie Lou's getting pussy. He's not even on the show.
100% happened before.
I that's what I did. Chrissy Mayer on my first day. We ate or whatever, and then I said, "Oh, you want to come over?" She's like, "Well, you live near here?" We were in Manhattan, right? I'm like, "Yeah." And we get in the cab, and I'm like, 59th Street Bridge, Astoria. She's like, "Hey."
No, if you get him drunk enough, you go no. It's the east part of the Upper East Side.
It's a couple of blocks east of East.
Dude, on McDougal, it got to the witching hour, and it was like once you got 2-3 o'clock, it was like, where are we going? Are we going to fucking to do this, or am I going home to jerk it? It's one or the other, lady.
One Furious F. Should I $10? Suppose they put that statue of Pat in front of Sullivan's. Will Gino hiss like a vampire, or Shuley at the sign of the cross when he sees it? It will and will it help him quit drinking? It might keep him out of the bar.
It won't.
Dude, I will 100. I will help you, Pat, in any way that I can make that happen. Right now, I'll put my hand to God right now, my right hand up.
Make what happen?
The statue in front of Sullivan's
of Pat holding a newspaper under his arm while putting both hands up, and Like we'll have a little plaque that says "Enjoy" at the bottom and the date that it happened.
Wow, awesome. That would be cool.
See, like you fight Ryan Katsu Rivera and things change for a man's life. So
yeah, you feel more confident about yourself, right?
That and also Gino took the time to make fun of a dead friend of mine the other day and all that shit. And he's trying to blame me for it too. So I'm like, buddy, he's watching right now. Yo, the crazy thing is he watches all of these shows, every second of them too. And that's why he was calling Kate Meany like a maniac yesterday while she was on. You fucking got that motherfucker like dead to rights, and he got nothing on you, bro. It's fucking pretty sad.
Furious. Nate Bargatze stinks enough. Enough said. Thank you, Furious. I wish I. Hey, back up, Adam. Did you say anything on Joey C?
On no, not yet.
Let me see if I'll do a quick little. It's on the Melton Discord, so let me take a look.
Well, just look in your. Oh, it's on the Melton Discord.
Well, that's where I saw it.
Well, Joey C took it down then.
He might have. It would have. If I was his attorney, I would have told him to take that down because he was like displaying.
Joey C's attorney. I'd like to meet them.
He's the one who was wronged.
Brandished a weapon. So,
what is that? What is that thing of like a blackjack or whatever? It's like just basically like a sock full of change or something, kind
of. I think he had the one where you press the button and it pops out. We used to call that a Newport Be Good stick where I'm from. Don't want to say the New Rochelle, New York.
So yeah,
the one that pops out. Either you press a button, it pops out, or you just flick your wrist and it's
like a baton. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, some cops carry those even.
The good ones.
But they don't give them to him, right?
No, you got to get that. You can't even buy them legally. You got to get them from
Trey's house. Pulper said it was your big day. Happy 45th birthday.
Ga. Yeah. A big time supporter of me personally and this whole universe. Ga. It was her birthday today. So happy birthday, baby.
Yeah.
What?
It's her Ga. Her name is Ga. G-A-A-A.
Who's Pulper?
Pulper is a big supporter of you and the community who.
He's saying in the chat.
And then Trey's house said, "I'm going to spend $4.99 saying this."
So okay, I had a grandfather who was a detective in the New Rochelle police department, and he died like before I was born. But I found this relic that he had. He had a slapjack that my father kept, and it was a lead top with a leather cover, and it had a spring handle to it, and one side of the leather cover was completely beaten through to the metal. So I would lead me to believe that my grandfather used to use that thing pretty often on the head of a coconut.
Is this what you guys talk about on the BYB, and is that why no one watches it? I'm just asking for the chat.
Fair.
Go ahead, Pat. You got to read this one.
Yeah, Spurgtopia now open on Discord. Link is in Hackverse Reddit. Join up today. Hi, Doodle. Hi, happy birthday, Ga. Spurg out in Spurgtopia.
No one's even talking to us. They're just talking to other people in the chat.
I think Spurg. Is he trying to say that that's where the link is to the Joey C thing, Spurgtopia, or is he just like advertising,
promoting his own thing?
His own Spurgtopia. Nate Bargatze on SNL. Who's next? Brad Trackman.
Do you know him?
Yes.
No, they used to. Brian McCarthy used to always, he used to always go to Brad Trackman for like a hack comic, just because it's
all right. Alan, I found it. I'm putting it in the private chat.
Was he a blonde guy with glasses, and he'd wear like a leather suit and shit like that later on? Brad Trackman. Oh no, Brad Trackman's a Jewish guy with glasses and dark hair, right? I know the guy.
Just some regular guy, but he had a funny name.
Yeah,
I would be like, "Who are you going to do the show with?" Brad Trackman. Whenever I do anything to like make fun of anything you were doing, he would just bring in Brad Trackman, and that would ruin it. Was it Brad Trackman? But he did help Cumia with his first book.
Mm-hmm. which is wild. I worked with him once in Pennsylvania, and
you said never again.
I said I'm never working with this fucking Brad Trackman again.
This hack.
He said they say that
Park West. O'Sullivan, you're right. James O'Sullivan, Park West, KB, Jessica Kirsten, 2 shows there tonight, and your buddy Jeff Ross next weekend. Yeah, that's great, but it's not the fucking Wells Fargo. So that's the thing. Like at this point, if you're not doing like big arenas, like you're like Dan Soder, you're at the fucking Carlson in Rochester in March, or it's not March. I don't even know what month it is. October. You know, I know it's kind of cold. You're going to Rochester in a shitty time of year, and you're like, what am I doing? And then you see Nate Bargatze's hosting SNL, and he's blah blah blah, and you're like, you know, doing a Park West at this point is like, who gives a shit? Jay Leno was the biggest comic in the country, and he was doing the Park West, and he was fucking thrilled. But now everyone's like Jeff Ross is done. Jeff Ross is done. TV won't have anything to do with him, and this whole career was based on TV. Everything was based on the roast and TV, and so without that, he's fucking nothing. And I love it because he's a piece of shit. And allegedly,
he fucked over our buddy Earl.
Who?
Earl Skakel.
That's allegedly. I'd rather get him on the other charges.
But did he? Yeah, I mean, is that why he lost that stuff?
Yeah, because that girl wrote the article, and he only dated like children. Like he would bring like these. He was like an ugly Jew, and he would bring in like 20-year-old fucking. They look like hookers to the Comedy Cellar, and they would sit there at the comics table, not say a fucking word. And I would say to Attell, because Attell was friends with Ross, I go, who are these fucking women that will fuck Jeff Ross? And he goes, you know, they're probably prostitutes and whatever, but it's like, they're all children. They're like fucking children. They could barely, like, he fed them baby food and shit. It was like, it was ridiculous. He couldn't even order off the menu. He would order the kids menu. I think they had chicken nuggets or something.
Chicken nuggies, yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking like macaroni and cheese. Yeah, a high chair with some fucking phone books in there.
Did we get some crayons over?
Yeah, literally, where they give the kids the crayon, and it was because they get restless while they're waiting for their food. I mean, what a fucking creepy.
Yeah, they're eating like what do you call Cheerios? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
he just puts an iPad on a kickstand in front of her and plays fucking Zoogle
Disney stories.
Yes. All right, Pat's gonna read this.
Jacob Maestas. Yeah, people don't want to see an actual comedian on SNL. That was at best a hit at Zany's in Zany's Nashville. They want to see Drake dressed up as Mrs. Doubtfire baking cookies.
Yeah, but nobody wants to cross the picket line. I mean, you can't. If you're a real actor, you can't fucking. You know, so they're getting Pete Davidson, and they're not getting actors, you know, Hollywood types. So they got to get what they can grab, and it's Nate fucking Bargatze. It's like laughable. Lauren don't give a shit. Lauren knows people will watch the show no matter who the fucking, you know, and that's why he got a big band in there, especially white people, a band that white people like, because he's like nobody knows Nate Bargatze, but they know fucking the Foo Fighters. And white people will watch the Foo Fighters.
And yeah, Bargatze's already pulling in the blacks.
No, they just Nate Bargatze won't bring in anybody, but he knows it's going to be mostly white people watching the show if it's the Foo Fighters. So they won't have a problem with Nate Bargatze.
SCTV was always so much better than SNL anyway. Sorry.
Okay, this is Alan's pulled up. This is the video from today, man. This is not. Yeah.
Call your kids into the room.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm outside right now, and I'm ready to throw down with these two motherfuckers. I got my shit out here right here, and I'm ready to fucking go. And I ain't playing no fucking game. I will fucking light these motherfuckers up. Okay? See those guys at the bus stop? See those guys at the bus stop? See them? See those guys? Yeah, they came over here talking shit. Fucking got in my door. Came up to my fucking door and to try to kick my fucking door in, and because they're looking for that fucking piece of shit song on mine. So, and then they went to fucking start on my wife. I come down here and they fucking both ran to the fucking bus stop. I fucking fucked them up. I told them straight up, I'm right here, motherfuckers. Okay, I'm right here. We're live from my parking lot. Or I almost just got myself almost jacked, or I was in a jacket, motherfucker. Okay? You want to see those guys over there? The fucking, that's them. My wife's going over there because they're fucking, they got to my bottom door, and they came upstairs trying to kick my fucking door in, looking for my piece of shit son-in-law. I guess he robbed them. And they want to come over here and they want to start out a fight for fucking foot. See how quick this old motherfucker come down here? And I fucking took both those motherfuckers down. Now they're begging my wife to call the fucking police. I told her not to call the police.
Who got robbed by your son-in-law and now want their shit back.
Yeah, but Stevie, I thought the guy showed up.
Well, he was like pointing the phone at them, I guess, from far away.
It was a POV?
Yeah, it was right after. He seemed a little glassy-eyed and erratic, which is usually a sign of some...
There's no way to start a Saturday morning.
Right.
Maybe that's what happened to the cocaine.
Yeah, it's... Pat, I didn't want to say it, but you're picking up what I was putting down there, bud.
He robbed him, and then I did all the coke.
And then I chased him off with a weapon. So
you got to do a lot of coke to fight drug dealers, you know.
That's true.
I like how
ask Two Bump Bob. Fucking, he'll tell you how it goes.
I like how he goes. You know. I don't like when people fuck with my family. Yet, like literally, it was stabbed by his daughter, and it's like his family always stabbing each other. He goes, I don't like people fuck with my family. I like it to be
loyalty. I like
it to be an inside job when people are fucking with my family. I like when my daughter,
family, she starts stabbing him. He's like, fuck with her, fuck with her.
I hope he's sleeping.
Oh my god,
watching this.
I got to start watching Catalano TV. That was fucking insane. That's a reality show.
This is, and then Opie wants no part of this. What is he out of his fucking mind? Jacob Mastice. And who's the musical guest? MLC Bob
Fat Mez.
Van Levy.
Shout out to Fat Mez.
Hey, you mind if we do an old Van Halen song? They're like, no, you got to do original stuff. What? What kind of a show is this? You got to do original stuff. That's craziness. Pat, you're good with the ladies. Is telling them that they have fat arms a guarantee to get laid? He's asking for Chad.
It helps. Yeah. And
have you ever told a lady she's fat or she has fat arms or fat anything other than a fat twat?
Yeah, I'm sure I have. Now that I think about it.
Why are you looking around?
I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to, resource. Like, when
He's
would
making sure there's not one behind him right now. That's the old joke.
See if some fat lady snuck into my apartment.
Yeah.
Guys are so worried about offending women. They look around before they say people are fat.
Yeah, good woman joke.
Thank you, Furious. Be smiley. Pat, Ray didn't mention. All right, someone's got to read this. Pat, you read it.
Go ahead, Stevie.
Yeah, Pat. Ray didn't mention to you and Adam that he did pocket half the money donated specifically for a hotel room when he bunked with KB at Atlantic City.
With KB at AC.
Right.
Yeah, because he came in hot. He was really mad that Borgo said, what, he just pocket the money? And Adam didn't defend it. And I was like, I don't know what he did with it.
Well, and I brought up the fact that was like the same situation that happened at Pottstown, where he ended up staying with Teamster Tim, and Bob sent him money because he had said...
Wait. So what? He pocketed half... Even if he pocketed the money, who cares? If he pocketed half, who got the other half? The Red Cross?
No.
He claimed that he bought a bunch of beers and stuff for people.
Wait, people who donated money?
I think it was our buddy Vaping Day, yeah. Which he didn't want people to know, but
Ray what was Ray supposed to do with it?
Public. There's a whole backstory. It's hard to catch you up.
Okay, then who cares? Exactly. So Vaping Day gave Ray money, and Ray kept it. He was supposed to give it to.
He was supposed to get a hotel with it.
Oh, but instead he gave half to KB.
Yeah, because he was saying that he was going to drive all the way to a friend's place.
Okay, so who cares? It's not that much money anyway. Vaping Daco was loaded. He just gifted Carlos Danger 100 memberships. So the guy's filthy rich if he can throw away money like that.
Yeah, it's just Ray came in so hot about it, saying
when.
It was when you stepped out of the room for a minute. And then when you came back, he was at the gym and all that shit, whatever. But we'd already discussed all that hotel room shit. It didn't really seem like that big a deal to me. But he seemed kind of upset, and then he said, "I'm gonna," I started talking about doing his show. He was mad at Adam for not calling him back. I mean, he was
he was mad at Adam.
Yeah, because he was going to talk to Adam about whether he should quit the Shuli network or not, and he needed to have validation.
Yeah, but he talked to like 7 people that night, and he was calling everybody. He was panic calling. So Adam's what do you think Adam's going to say? It's not exactly dealing with Hamas and fucking the JDL or whatever the fuck they call it.
The ADL.
IMF.
JDL.
The IMF, I think it's.
No, it's the Jewish Defense League or Jewish
Israeli military. All right.
No, it's a Jewish Defense.
You're also right.
It's just the Anti-Defamation League, and maybe it's 2 different ones.
Yeah, it is. Jewish Defense Team or something. Division.
Listen, all I know is THC. Where's my bong?
It's the Super Friends. Who the captain of the Hack Pack, Bob or Shuli Hack? Who the captain of the Hack Pack, Bob or Shuli Hack? I think it's maybe should be read like this: Who the captain of the Hack Pack, Bob or Shuli?
Yeah.
Hack.
Yeah,
that's like ba with the ba, the bang to bang bang, but a bing dong day. What the fuck? Jesus, that's a good one.
Fucking Captain Beefheart.
I don't like Stevie Louie after a fight.
He all right. He chill. Chad blocked her because he didn't know her.
Hamburger.
Chad blocked her. Chad acts like he's in high school. I don't like that girl. I blocked her. Like I taught her a lesson.
Fuck.
And
Kevin
to answer your question, Chuli's the king of the hack pack. Bob just jumps along. Bob jumps on any bandwagon, no matter how stupid it is. I remember when Artie Lang was literally doing blow like everywhere. Everybody knew he was. Bob was the guy who was like, "Come on, let's sell some. Let's do some shows, Artie." And everyone was like, "Why are you doing shows with Artie?" No, because Artie's going to blow up. He's not. He's going to blow up his fucking nose.
The craziest thing I've ever seen, honestly, I've seen a lot of shit. They had a live show at the Hard Rock Cafe where it was like couples were brought up and they were like competing against other couples. And somehow Artie and one of his like friends was a couple. And suddenly during that show, Artie disappeared and couldn't be found. And like there was no explanation for it. And like we found out later that he had just like walked out of the Hard Rock and had to go meet his bookie, and then like got
the Hard Rock in Atlantic City or
no, this
or
is
New
the
York?
Hard Rock in New York City. So literally the entire staff had to check every bathroom stall to make sure that Artie.
And what was Bob doing?
This was before that. This was before.
How many
that.
bathroom stalls did they have?
That's a big place. Yeah, the Hard Rock is a huge cavernous place, but they literally made the entire staff check every bathroom.
The bathroom
stall
was huge and cavernous.
Sure. No, the plate. All right, my story's not going over so well.
Might as well call it the hard plop.
But yeah, it was great. Like this is like some folks might know this. There was like a very well.
Some folks.
It was like a live event at the Hard Rock for I think Bennington show, and Artie was a part of it. And like he was like, I got to go to the bathroom for a sec. And then he just disappeared for the rest of the show. And they were like kind of concerned. They didn't know where he was. They didn't know if he was dead. It got all bad shit.
Classic Artie. Hey, look, it's Ryan Katsu Rivera, $4.99. My first non-antagonistic super chat to Stevie. You're a warrior, bro.
Well, you guys are in love.
Peace and love.
It's like like fucking Rocky 2. Apollo and Rocky are fucking boys now. Yeah, they're basically racing on the beach and shit.
John Carson. Stevie, why did that guy get in the ring like a second ref? Also, it was a little unfair for the ref to be giving Asian Pat tips between rounds.
Great comment, John. That other guy was like someone at the gym who just was beaten to his own drum. And I was very thankful that guy that helped, that refed, he was there to look out for both of us at the end of the day. He said at the beginning of the fight, you guys do want to kill each other, but we're not going to let you actually kill each other in the ring. So there was kind of a preset sort of gentleman's agreement that we would slug it out. But if anyone started to really hurt the other person, they'd call
Why was he giving him tips?
TKO.
Because it's his buddy. Yeah, it's like it was their gym.
Yeah, but I didn't see that with Ali Frazier where they're getting tips.
Listen, honestly, I'll say this too. My corner guy, this guy, his name is Gooch. He's fought at Madison Square Garden before. Like I had a real
allegedly.
No, this guy has actually fought this guy who was in my corner
at a Ranger game or
no,
like it was actually
he's a actual fighter. So I had a guy in my corner.
Because one time I got in a fight with a dude at a Knick game.
He was a bat boy.
He showed me the video. He got his jaw broken in the ring.
Jesus, these stories suck, Stevie Lou.
They do. Boxing is not fun, man. So that guy was.
The stories don't have to suck.
The team I had was just as good. So
there
was no advantage. It was a fair fight, 100%. I'll say.
I'm gonna have to pull an Artie Lang on my own show. I might go for a walk.
You gotta go to the bathroom.
Never come back.
We're gonna have to go out there and go through all your bathrooms. Pam and I like WW2 POW movie Stalag 17. Great movie. That's the one that's that the show is based on. Great movie. Pam likes when the Delirious guy sings his I love you, 3 words that are divine song. Pam likes it when I sing to her.
I don't know this one. I'm gonna have to look it up. Stalag 13.
Stalag 17.
Yeah, that's a famous movie.
Yeah, it's the one that Hogan's Heroes is based on, kind of loosely, I think.
Yeah, it's a classic. Fucking
One Furious $5. Stevie, grab your bong. I have an interesting MLC theory you might want to hear.
MLC.
I think he's mocking me.
Yeah, because people love conspiracy theories when they're high. Furious knows what's going on. Dr. Frosty Bro, I never knew the dude from the Hills of Ice was a boxer.
Yeah, he's the guy from. You've seen him in a bunch of films. Very specific looking dude.
And you got a black guy from your wife or from the fight yesterday?
No, that was my whole entire my left side. So this is the left side of my body because he's a righty. So he was throwing power shots the whole time, and I was eating some of them, unfortunately.
Rolando, wait, is Cozy TV the network with Virgin Booger Eater Nazi Nick Fuentes? No, that's a different Nick Fuentes. Right? Am I right, Pat?
Yeah, different guy. The Shuli, Michael Zimmerman. Michael Zimmerman owns Cozy. He made the Mexican man child leader of the white race. Nick Fuentes as the face. Stream to Odyssey.
Oh wow! This is a conspiracy theory about who owns Cozy TV. Interesting.
Oh, it's Michael Zimmerman who owns it. He says.
A Shuli behind the scenes is doing their dirty work.
Maybe they took it down because
like Mr. Burns. Yeah, because of Hamas.
Yeah, they need more resources for Hamas to fight them.
The Mexican man-child leader of the white race.
What the hell?
I love it, man. I love it when I meet Saturday conspiracy theories.
What up, KB, Pat, and Stevie? Glad you're on, KB. My girlfriend is out of town, so all I got is you and my wild turkey. You and my wild turkey. And at no time will I not be getting drunk tonight. Go ahead, caller.
Ray loves to say at no time. At no time.
And wild turkey is delicious bourbon. I will say that's good stuff. 100%.
It's not as popular as Jack Daniels because it's like an old timey drink.
It puts Jack Daniels to shame.
My favorite SNL era is the upcoming Davino Mayer era.
A lot of horse skits on this era.
Jesus Christ.
Kumi said in the live stream while gaming, there are talks between Gavin and him in merging Compound and Censored. Hear about that?
Wow. Oh, I know why. I'm not even high, but I know why.
Yeah,
that way Cumia can move to South Carolina and the people who want to do their shows from a studio in New York can work out of Gavin's studio.
In the Bronx, yeah. Good call.
It's so Gavin can fire everybody.
That too, but Gavin's studio's not at his house, it's in the Bronx?
It's way up in it's further than the Bronx.
But it's not at his house.
I think it's like in the Soundview section of the Bronx, which is basically the border.
No, it's not at his house.
It's not at his house.
No.
Okay, then if it's not at his house, then he wants to merge it so he can close his studio, and then like the pieces of shit like Gino who still want to do the show from his studio will just have to go up there to do the show from there. So that makes total sense, Johnny B. Going, thanks for the tip.
I know nothing.
And then if Kumi wants to fly up and do a show with Gavin on Wednesday, then he can do that because that's the only show he wants to do anymore anyway. He doesn't want to do the other shows. That's why he never shows up, even before he had his heart attack.
Kenan Thompson makes KB look like Malcolm X.
He's right. I mean, I am so much. It's crazy how. And Kenan Thompson's like, hey, they like me. They don't. Why do you think Michael Che is still there? Because he's got nowhere to go. It's like when you're a black dude on SNL, it's like you don't. It's like unless you get hit by a truck on the New Jersey Turnpike, you're fucked. I mean, Tracy Morgan was dying a slow death until he got hit by a truck. I mean, I know it makes no sense, but he was dying a slow death, and now he became famous for getting hit by a truck, and they paid him a lot of money. But what's going to happen to Michael Che when he leaves SNL? He's going nowhere. So they stay there because they get the nice payday, but they don't have any fans. Kenan Thompson has nowhere to go. They gave him a sitcom as a going away gift. It didn't work, so they brought him back. Because they need a guy to play the white or the black dopey guy when they do their sketches. Like, hey, we're at a company picnic, and here's the black guy.
That whole truck hitting it hit several Newports. I mean, R.I.P. Patrice. It gave
it was Jimmy Mack.
A stroke.
Jimmy Mack was the guy who died.
Oh, I feel like Norm must have. When I send a super chat, is it because I like it and I don't give a shit? That does seem like the way to go. Then clip it. Saint Ranger says.
Wait, I don't even know what he said.
Well, Norm didn't give a shit if it was going to go over, and neither does he. He doesn't care how his super chat's going to go over.
All right.
It is.
Plus, he's talking to Pam the whole time anyway. So I don't know if Norm was talking to somebody when he was doing his sketches.
Hey Pam, OJ's a murderer. Can KB and the guests go around and tell us their most special stories of how Matthew Perry inspired them comedically? What happened to Stevie?
I don't know. I think he got high enough. He's like, I'm off.
He just fell out. Yeah, I mean, I'll go first. It's like I said on Twitter. I do think that Matthew Perry's death really puts this Palestine-Israel thing in perspective. And comedically, it taught me that sarcasm can be lovable, and that you don't have to have any subtlety with sarcasm. You could you be more looking at your phone? Like that. That's how Matthew.
Oh, that was what he was famous for, right?
Yep.
I never watched the show. I wasn't a big fan because I wasn't gay then.
Did you not have a girl with you at the time?
No, I didn't. No, I was just out doing stand-up comedy, so I never watched shows like that. I didn't even watch Seinfeld till basically it was over, and then went in syndication. Then it was on 11 o'clock. I still haven't
seen it. That's how busy I am.
I mean, I used to, when I first got cable this time around. We got cable a couple years ago, I think during the pandemic. And then I was watching Seinfeld. And then after like a month or two, you're like, there's like 10 or 12 great Seinfeld episodes. But most of it is just like, it's like Three's Company, but in New York. It's just a lot of misunderstandings and a lot of,
a lot of bullshit. It's just it's so fucking dumb.
Not believable.
Yeah. And the way they talk to each other, a close talker. I hate a close talker. I hate the close talker. It's not very real. Do you have a Matthew Perry?
Yeah, I mean, he inspired drug addicts like myself.
Right, Steve, are you on crack or meth?
He inspired drug addicts like myself.
You're on the screen for less than a split second. You're going right into your Matthew Perry story. I thought he was asking me. That was fucking rude.
I was sitting backstage. So,
what's your? You have a Matthew Perry story?
I mean, like he just gave inspiration to folks out there who struggle with any sort of addiction. He was able to overcome it for a good amount of time.
He fucking died in a hot tub.
Well, like Pat said, they're saying there was no drugs.
How's that inspiration? So if you're a junkie, you might die in a hot tub too?
Well, I mean, he was on the #1 show in America. Yes.
Yeah, and he was a junkie. He was a junkie on a #1 show.
He was also like
sounds like you're legitimizing your addictions.
Fair. Where's the gypsy when we need him? But
it's Joey Catalano when you need him.
yeah, Joey would set us
I'll
straight
fuck
here.
up anybody who comes to me in the morning.
Like
wait till noon. Wait till noon. You're gonna break into my house.
Shit, son-in-law.
He was under extreme scrutiny by the media and the rag mags every year.
Oh my God,
Perry. So like you would see like he would fluctuate in weight between seasons.
He's a junkie, and he was on the #1 show, and he was getting $500,000 a week. But that wasn't enough because he's a weak junkie. Remember, Levy was always like, junkies are weak. He was right about that. But Bob's a junkie too. Ask Rob Saul. I'm not a junkie. I'm telling you, junkies are weak, and they always die. Bye, Greg Giraldo. You fucking junkie.
Yeah. Well, they were not #1.
Oh, he was so great. Greg Giraldo was so smart. How about not do drugs? Wouldn't that be smart, Gregory?
Listen, not everybody can be a #1 son.
Shut the fuck up, Stevie Lou. I wish I was there to punch you in the head. Jesus Christ, with your fucking... He's giving people hope. I thought he's giving people hope because young white nothings, maybe they'll make $500,000 a week. I didn't know you're going to give him some fucking swan song, sad song about how maybe if you're a junkie, you can ride it out till you're 60. He wasn't even 60. He was like 50. What a piece of... Then he just got married. Dan Filata was like, the marriage is a complete fucking sham. He's a junkie. It basically just married his nurse. And it didn't even last because even his nurse was like, I'm sick of you fucking junkie. His weight fluctuated. Yeah, because he's a junkie.
You think that he was doing autoerotic asphyxiation, but in the jacuzzi, just trying to drown himself,
like just dunking his head under.
Yeah, as long as he can hold it.
I mean, when Whitney Houston died in a sauna, I mean in a jacuzzi, I was like, they can't swim. But Matthew Perry, come on, man, you know he could swim.
Whitest show in America he was on. He could.
He could swim.
You know, that's probably just where they put him. Now that I'm thinking about it,
listen. The only thing
they just put him in there.
The only thing that he's taught me is, Kevin, I'll be there for you because you've been there for me too.
Are they? Yeah, but they weren't there.
Ding, 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 ding.
They left as soon as he was a confirmed junkie. As soon as the show was over, they're like, bye. Sorry.
Yeah, David Schwimmer got to do that OJ movie.
You think any of his cast members are like checking up on him? They don't give two fucks. They knew he was a fucking junkie. I'm only making $500,000 a week. How am I gonna cope? You fucking piece of shit. Good riddance. Whatever the opposite of R.I.P. That's what I give fucking Chandler, not David Chandler. Chandler on the
Chandler Bing.
Chandler Bing. Bing.
My thanks. JT, super chat was non-member crosstalk.
Yeah, don't confuse me, Skywalker.
Okay, I will say he also had a great movie career. He didn't. No,
unless you're talking about Al Pacino.
He was in Almost Heroes with Chris Farley, and that is a good.
Jesus,
that's a
somebody
classic.
punched you boring.
Wagons East, was he in that? Was he?
No,
in
he was in. That
was Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
Where do you rank Richard Lewis, KB?
He was great. He was my second favorite after Leno. I saw him at Zanies too.
You're kidding, really?
On a snowy night. Yeah, same thing. They said he was at Zanies. I went to see him on a Thursday because I couldn't see him on a weekend or whatever. I went to see him on a Thursday. It snowed out. So nobody was there. There was like 20 people. I went, and it was still a fucking great show.
Did you have a grand piano on stage?
Huh?
Do you have a grand piano on stage?
No, but at that point, I was enthralled with stand-up. So, but these guys these guys had acts because Richard Lewis, when I saw him, he had been doing it for a long time. So his act was good.
Yeah.
And Leno's was great.
You know what? You know who says the same thing about Leno is Ray Schneiders. He sometimes super chats in here. He's a guy who's a guest all the time on New York City Crime Report, but he's a retired detective. He said he saw him out in California at like the Ice House or maybe one of the improvs out there in like 78. He said he was amazing.
Yeah. He was Chief Brody too.
What?
Roy Scheider.
Ray Schneider's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I get Roy Schneider on all the time. Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, I never thought.
Come on, Kev. Come on, take a bong hit.
I never thought I'd hear myself say this.
Where
Where the fuck is Ray DeVito when you need him?
Fellow went to the doctor with a frog growing out of his neck. The doctor said, "What's wrong with you?" And the frog said, "It started as a boil on my ass." Pretty good.
I still don't. I don't get jokes. I don't get any of these.
It's a variation of the black guy walks in a bar with a parrot on his shoulder joke.
I don't know that one either.
I'll tell it to you sometime.
I'm gonna have to look behind his shoulders first before he tells that one.
Fat ladies back there. Amazing how Chad and Ray are at 50 are living pathetic lives, yet they find successful Matthew Perry dead at 54 years in his hot tub. Shouldn't it be the other way around? F both of them and truly. Love you, Kev. That's Starbucks ambassador says, "Fuck Chad and Ray. They should be dead in a hot tub, not Matthew Perry."
He's right. He's right. Like the fact that like Chad and Ray still find a reason to live on, and Matthew Perry doesn't. It's unbelievable.
The wrong hack died.
Matthew Perry wasn't even a hack. He was on one of the most successful, not just successful, like wildly popular. Like their ratings were fantastic. All he had to do was not be a crackhead, and he chose to be a crackhead.
Yeah, nice long run, and they record salaries. I mean, whatever they were getting paid, they just
$600,000 a week or something, or maybe over $1 million
an episode for each of them.
Huh?
I think it was $1 million an episode.
Yeah,
there was like
the last contract was ridiculous.
They all got paid the same, and they also had the same amount of lines per episode. They got all really tight.
When you said lines, Bob got all excited.
But
you're talking about a couple of bumps.
2 bump Bob.
He did his and David Schwimmer's.
Yeah, it was 7 bump Matthew.
If Bob was on the show, they'd be like, "Bob, we're gonna increase the amount of lines you get." Bob would be like, "Oh, that's fantastic news."
I'm feeling tired these days.
Let me tell Joey C and Rob Saul, because they're my connections.
Speaking of Joey C and robbing, did you hear about his son-in-law?
Jesus Christ.
My dad was a sheet metal boss and union official, local.
First of all, excuse me, Pat, but since we didn't see anybody actually robbing them. Was it all fake?
Could have been a work. We call that a work.
His son-in-law robbed the drug dealers.
Yeah, but we didn't see anybody but him. It was like a point of view.
I'm just quoting what he said.
Yeah, he goes, someone robbed $100.
Made it seem like we were going to see the guys kicking his door down.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but it was
exaggerate.
I don't know why somebody would make up that their son-in-law robbed drug dealers.
Exactly, because we're talking about it. That's why.
And then when you're like, there's cocaine involved, and then your eyes are glassy, and you're talking really fast like that, it's kind of like, well, wait a second. Well,
as for
but
me,
also he was nervous. He was nervous and excited. You believe him?
I believe, yeah. I fully believe it. It might not have been exactly like he said, but I believe something like that happened. I believe the guy who sleeps on his floor robbed some drug dealers.
That math works. That math makes sense. The guy who's sleeping on a guy who lives in a strip mall. He's sleeping on his floor. He probably did steal some cocaine. And they woke up Joey before he got his Dunkin' Donuts coffee, so he's about to fuck somebody up.
Yeah, he's mad. Right. My dad was a sheet metal boss and union official, local 104. Dad always said you can't please everyone, but if you please yourself, you know at least one person will be satisfied.
It's a masturbation
Super Chats and Norm M follow that rule. Man, he's taking us pretty serious.
No, he's right though.
Please yourself. Are you pleased?
No, you can't live for other people. You gotta. Are you self-satisfied? Yeah, I don't think he's talking about jerking off. I think he's taking a little bit higher than that, Stevie. I think he's talking about like, can you live with yourself? I mean, that's true with Norm. Norm's thing was like when I got the job at Norm's show, the one of the EPs said like, Norm is always going to go for the smartest joke. He's not going to go for the easy laugh. He wants the smartest joke. And that was fun because he, for the most part, he did. And so, because Norm could live with the joke if it bombed, if he thought it was the smartest joke or the smartest take on the joke. And then in the process of that, he came up with some of the line of it's now legal in the state of California to commit murder, or however it was worded, was so perfect and so perfect for Norm. Like, he didn't dance around. He just said, like, you can commit murder in the state of California now.
One time I think he did a joke about Michael Jackson, and it got kind of a groan. He goes, "Oh, you know, he's a homosexual pedophile, right?"
I mean, he could live with it if
that wasn't in the script. That was not in the script, Pat. That's what I think you're saying.
It's amazing to me that they let him do this shit. That they were like, it bombs at the run through or whatever it is, and then he's just like, I'm going to do it. You know?
It had to, but yeah, it bombed. It didn't do well to dress, and he probably was like, no, it'll do better at 11:30, and then it wouldn't. But Norm was prepared for it, and that's why he usually had a funny reaction to it, because he knew he knew it wasn't going to do well, so he had a backup line to go to.
He was a counter puncher. That's a counter puncher move.
No, the best was when he would just kind of like not even react when the crowd booed. And he would just go on to the next one
because he knew he had something lined up. Yeah,
I don't know what he knew.
Was it Don Ohlmeyer that had hated him and fired him?
And he's friends with OJ.
But that guy says no more OJ jokes, and he's still.
Man, all OJ jokes, I think, right? Yeah, like that.
Everybody else, any other comic in the world would have been like, "All right, I'll stop doing them."
But even if you wanted to do them, I'm amazed that that it wasn't like, "No, we're gonna keep you from doing this." You know,
or they could have cut the commercial.
No, they basically let Norm be Norm, but in the process, he did get himself fired. And then whatchamacallit, the fact that Ohlmeyer fired him. I saw a clip where Howard Stern said, like, it was Norm. Lorne Michaels didn't care anymore if Norm got fired, but Lorne didn't want to fire him because they were friends. So he had Ohlmeyer be the hitman, which makes sense, because Lorne didn't want to do it, but he was okay with it at that point. It's just like, the mafia, where you're like, I'm okay. This is my buddy, but I don't care if you have him whacked.
Right.
But I just don't want to do it. Have somebody else do it. Have Ohlmeyer do it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a lot of Jews in the mafia, so it doesn't. But the analogy still works, because Ohlmeyer, he's a Shuli.
There's just Hyman Roth.
Yeah, Meyer Lansky.
Hyman Roth. You're
Meyer
right.
Lansky used to.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm gonna drop off my own show and start looking for Artie Lang.
It's a business. After this fight, I think John is the man to beat.
Yeah, I like to see.
He did. If you guys have not seen when he fought that guy, Crazy Cabby, he did actually fight decent. So,
wait, this can't be true. Sarah Silverman was on blocks.
Oh,
this really
awkward.
If Sarah's on blocks and my name didn't come up, this will be really a classic. I might have to do a slow. I might have to do a slow Red Bar or a Melton, or the Shuli does with Stuttering John,
and rewatch it.
I might have to watch this whole episode real slow.
Okay, give me a sec on this one. When you were talking about watching Kevin Meaney's old set before and watching the clock in your head, that made me think of making a ESPN Classic channel for you, where you watch old bits and you get to break down the X's and O's like you just did with that Meanie set, saying how you're watching the clock go down. He's only got this much time and he's already killing so much. It would be kind of an interesting take, I think, for a pro like you to. All right, I'll stop.
What channel?
I guess, can we do a Kevin Brennan 2?
All right, Kevin.
Right, we'll start 2. Yeah.
The Deuce.
Shuli 3.
Yeah, I'll do it on the Shuli network.
Allegedly, but also really, according to Pat Dixon, Mary Jane has bedroom eyes, but I think Bob Levy's got Betty Davis eyes.
That's a fact.
It's a song, too.
He'll please you, David Skywalker. There's those eyes.
For what?
It's just Betty Davis eyes and Mary Jane bedroom eyes.
Oh,
she's got Mary Jane bedroom eyes.
Wait, he's reacting to the last super chat?
Seemed like it.
Yeah.
Stevie's childhood here once said, if more people were stoned, there would be less violence in the world. Did you win your fight, Stevie? Tommy Chong.
So one of the greatest books I've ever read is called The I Chong, which is a book that Tommy Chong wrote about his time in prison when he got arrested for selling bongs. Very fucked up
How
shit.
long was he in prison for?
He did just under a year, and he was like, it's crazy. The story is that he was bunkmates.
Is this going to be story? Is this story going to be longer than
I'll keep it brief. I'll keep it brief. He was bunkmates with Jordan Belfort, who is the author of The Wolf of Wall Street. And the story is that while they were bunkmates, Jordan was telling Tommy stories about his life, and Tommy Chong said, "You should write that up," and that's what The Wolf of Wall Street became, due to the fact that Tommy Chong was bunk cellmates with Jordan Belfort, and he convinced him to write.
Is any of this factual or just the whole thing?
According to Tommy says it's the truth. I think Jordan backs it up, but again, you got to read this book. It's called The I Chong. It's, I mean, not to get too heady. And then as far as did I win the fight? No, it was a draw.
It was an exhibition fight. There was no.
It was a fair fight. It was a draw. No one won that fight.
I've heard people call it both ways too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's great. I like. Again, the amount of eyeballs we had on the fight is really
no. I think he's saying more people should be stoned, but they're less violence. But then you got in a fight anyway.
Oh, right.
Oh, but it wasn't random. It was a sporting event with equipment and shit, and they both signed releases. And you didn't sell any bongs, man. I'm in here for selling bongs.
Well, the story about that. Bongs. Yeah, is that he had a bong company, and he was told that everything he was doing was legal, so he sold the bong to a federal agent in Florida. The feds literally put a team together to buy bongs. Imagine our tax dollars at work, that they put a federal team together to buy a bong from Tommy Chong so that they could charge him with federal crimes, and then they threatened his wife and daughter with jail time because they were involved in the company. So they said, if you'll take the time, we'll spare your wife and daughter. So he's like a man, stood up and
sounds like a Joey C storyline.
It is kind of a Joey C story now that you say it. That's,
you got to bring my wife and daughter into it.
You're right.
It's not right. Joey story.
Hey, she stabbed me 3 times. So it's fascinating shit. It's a good point. Furious one Furious out there.
The floor Newport stole my Coke.
I'll never let him sleep on my floor ever again.
Where's my slapjack?
Deal with these fuckers.
He did back-to-back. Furious, you drunk? You did back-to-back. Back-to-back, the same super chat. I'm not even kidding. Look,
it's one of the best books I've ever read. Tommy Chong's The I Chong.
1219, 1220.
I read Agent Pat Dixon's book. If you read it, it's called The Ching Chong.
He said, "Me Chinese, me do joke, me do pee in your Coke." That's what he did say to me afterwards. I was taken aback, but
the bar,
yeah.
Did you drink the Coke you had there?
Yeah, I did.
Or snort it? Stevie Lou, Mrs. Melton, and Mutter's #1 son. Agent Pat Dixon gave him CTE. Now he acts like Joey, see, when he's glad to be on MLC.
Nice job.
Melton and Mutter's
nice job, Pat. That's a good job, buddy.
That's a tough read. You have CTE?
It's like listening to a guy rap.
It's this one again. Are you going backwards?
No.
Hey, Harry Jane's got bedroom eyes, but Baby Jane's got Betty Davis eyes. Oh, Baby Jane, the little Arnie. I think her name's Arnie.
Say, where's Arnie Gilbert?
Pat, would you go to your nephew Wednesday if your sis didn't go?
This is Kevin's brother saying this. So this has got to be an inside Kevin Brennan joke that we're not getting here.
Do you have a sister?
Would you go to your nephew's wedding if your sister didn't go?
Oh,
that's what the joke was.
Wednesday. I'm such an idiot.
No, I had to. I'm high. I whisper, chat. I don't know. I have this thing.
Ability. Would you go to your nephew's wedding if your sis didn't go?
It's like a word problem.
I mean, I would if I liked him. Yeah, sure, I guess. But
Okay,
if
what
I
he's
didn't, I
referring
wouldn't.
to, I don't know how he knows this. This might really be my brother.
This could be your actual.
No, because I mean, this is impossible to know. So he's
Talked about it on a podcast or something.
Yeah, he did. He's right. Pat's on to something. This guy who's Peter Brennan, he is one of your oldest fans who has analyzed
about this.
No, you do occasionally let shit slip and you don't realize it. You've done it over the past 5 years.
My sister. Can I tell the story, Stevie? My sister, son. I'm getting way too much information because I know Joe Exotic is going to run with this. I just put it out there and people run with it, like Chad says. Anyway, my sister's son was getting married, and she didn't like she didn't like who he was marrying, so she didn't go. That's what he's referring to. So he's saying, he's basically asking, I wasn't invited, so I didn't go, but it was on the West Coast, so I wasn't going to go anyway. But he's basically saying, if your if basically you had if your sister wasn't going to her own child's wedding, would you go as the uncle?
Why did he put it on me to answer this? I mean,
just to confuse everything. I don't know how he knows this. He really might be my own brother.
Although maybe Neil said this.
He didn't. Oh, maybe he did. Maybe he did. Because Neil went.
He's a chatty Cathy, that Neil.
No, Neil went because it was a West Coast wedding, and
so I could see him talking about that sort of trauma. Because that's like, he's like, look how bad my family is. That my own.
He didn't come visit his kid, his new kid.
Right. He didn't come visit my son when he was 1.8 miles away.
1.8 miles away.
I mean, I'm not making that up because I drove it in my car.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just a number 2 son.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I have something. When we were at Compound that one day, when I had to watch over your family because you were afraid that Chad was going to burst through the door at any moment.
He was coming to see Rage Against the Machine.
And your son was just hanging. And he's a great kid, fucking young lad. And I go, okay, your name is Danny. You were named after your dad's brother. And he was like, no, I wasn't. I was like, no. He's like, his name is Daniel and I'm Danny. And I was like, it's the same name. You realize that's and he was not aware. I had this funny little moment with your son where he wasn't totally aware that he would have been named after your own brother.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He was named after my dad.
Right. Which your dad, Danny, was also named after your dad. So technically,
yeah, but the thing was,
lineage.
Here's how it goes.
Your dad was named after your brother, Danny.
Yeah, no, my dad.
What?
My dad was Daniel. My brother was Daniel, but they had different middle names, so he wasn't Junior.
Right.
So when we decided to name our kids, I know everyone's trying to ruin my son's credit right now, and Joe Exotic's going on credit score.
No, we didn't say nothing.
No, I'm saying we named Daniel because we didn't know. So when we decided to name our kids, we named our kids after their grandparents. So my son was named after my dad, and my daughter was named after my wife's mom.
Right. And your son said the same thing to me. And I was like, well, since your uncle was named after your grandfather, that means that you were also named in the lineage. So technically, while you were named after your grandfather, you were also named after your uncle. And
why would you be having this conversation?
It was strange. I was high.
Were you guys doing bong hits?
I didn't
bong hits with my son.
I didn't give your child any marijuana. I would never do that. But
you gave him a
I get why you'd think that.
You gave him a gummy?
No. I sat him down in front of an iPad and I was like, you want to watch Fast and the Furious? And he was like, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, anything to get out of this weird lineage conversation.
No, and plus we don't call him Danny. We never call him Danny. We call him Daniel. So if anybody calls him Danny, he always looks at him like, no, I'm not Danny, I'm Daniel. And one of the reasons we did it was just because it was like, just to create like separation or something. I don't know why we did it, but we did it.
All right, Gustav, $49.99. Junkie. I bet all those ladies in Hell's Kitchen had Adam's apples as big as Jimmy's wife. So alluding to the fact that
Did you ever have a conversation because that whole area becomes very, and like you said, it became the gayest part of New York once you moved there.
Jim Norton is one of my greatest inspirations comedy wise. So
yeah, but I'm saying, did you ever have a conversation on the street and then you're like, oh, that's a dude?
Yes, I have actually. I'd 100% say that. Yes,
You started off thinking it was a lady, though.
No, they would cackle you sometimes. Like they would catcall you sometimes. There was absolutely one corner for trannies, and sometimes I'd be walking home from the village, and they'd be like, "Hey there, big boy," and you're like, "What?" for a second, and then you're like, "Oh, wait a second, Adam's apples, big knuckles."
I seen him in Chelsea too. I saw a few, man. They weren't even trying.
Yeah.
I mean, they looked like those Washington Redskins assholes with the dresses, the pigs, those and stuff. That they didn't try any harder than that. Like mustaches, they didn't give a fuck.
Was it like a bad weave?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. I would go to the drag shows sometimes because a bunch of single chicks go to the drag shows. So if you were a single straight guy who would be cool enough to go to a drag show, you would find pussy fall in your lap because they would look at you as like, okay, you're non-threatening because you're able to like be cool enough to enter a drag show and be cool with it. So there was a little bit of some games you'd have to play with the fucking gay community to get laid. But
nice. That's sort of like that. Their gay friends had already vetted you in a way.
So I had a chick who was this. I think you actually met her once before at Compound Pat. Who she was like a huge drag queen fan. So she was like, "You live in Hell's Kitchen. There are these like insane drag queen shows in your neighborhood. Can I come with you and stay at your place?" And I had never had a chance with her. She was too hot, but I would go with her to the shows, and she would like bounce past me sometimes, chicks, because you'd be at the show and you'd be with a straight female. And she'd be like, "Hey, this is my friend Steve. He's not gay," and you'd end up going to a late night party.
And then she still stay at your house, like
yes, yeah. It was one of those weird things where she was way too hot.
What was her name?
Adele. Adele.
Oh,
Addie.
I fucked her.
There we go.
Kidding.
Would she sleep on your floor and do a lot of your cocaine?
She banged Ari Shaffir. I know for a fact that Ari Shaffir got to her. She was absolutely a chuckle fucker. So I was trying to like stay in the zone and hope that maybe I would raise up my level. It was a
dude and she hooked up with Ari Shaffir?
No, she was a very hot. She was on an episode of Eastside Dave where we did a dating game show where Dave was like, "Do you have any hot friends?" And I brought her in. I think Pat might have been there for this one.
He got into her skeptic tank.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's 8 years ago at this point, buddy. Yeah. It's early Compound era.
All right, Kevin, 2 questions. In your teens, did you ever buy pot for yourself? That's number 1. And then number 2, did you smoke weed often growing up or ever? I used to smoke pot. I still do, but I used to too. I grow mine.
Yeah.
You grow your own pot?
I've grown my own pot.
I think it has to be synthetic out in California now, something like that. It's the only legal stuff is synthetic. No, okay.
No, because California you can grow anything. California is where shit grows because of the sun and the.
I was talking about the law though.
No, you can legally grow like 8 plants.
All right, I think he wants to talk to me. I'm the star of the show.
That's right. Sorry.
So, did you ever smoke pot by yourself? No, never. Did you smoke weed
yourself?
Oh, did you ever buy pot for yourself? Yeah, I did buy pot. I didn't smoke a lot growing up. No, but I bought pot once. This is a true story. I bought pot once, and I don't know why or how, but I bought it. I kept it in my golf bag, and because I was a caddy, we had it. So I played golf on Caddy Day, which is Monday. So I kept it in my golf bag. I figured no one would ever catch me. But then I never smoked it. And then I just got sick of having it in my golf bag. So one day I was playing golf and I just put it in a tree. And where the tree, the tree limbs come down to like a nesting place. So I was like, one day I was like, yeah, there you go. I'm out of the pot business.
That's
And,
wild.
that was the end of that.
Why didn't you smoke it? You just did. When would you
Because
do
I
it?
didn't smoke it by myself, and I was just like, I don't like pot, so I don't know why I bought it. I thought it was like cool. Maybe I thought guys like Stevie Lou would hang out with me, and then I'm like, I don't want to get caught up on my parents with weed, and I don't even smoke weed. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "Why do you have this weed?" I'm like, "I don't know, because I don't even smoke it. I'm holding it for Stevie Lou."
I bought it every chance I got. There was this guy named Dwight, and we would go to the mall on Tuesday. He was this black
Newport,
guy.
Dwight.
Yeah, he was a Newport named Dwight. He had a leather duster that he was always wearing, and we would buy a dime bag off of him every Tuesday. A Dwight dime, called it, and so I bought pot from that guy.
But the caddies always smoked weed. I know that's like a Caddyshack joke, but
we didn't smoke weed. The caddies, we drank, but we didn't smoke weed.
The caddies had a weed thing going. I used to work at any country club in America. The caddies are
but you're younger than me. We didn't smoke weed.
It stayed okay. The reason why I say that is because I used to work at a country club, and I worked at the pool. I was the pool operator, and I would always go and take a weed break. And I would always go over by
What's
the
caddy. Pool operator do? You make sure the water's still there?
No need to ask.
I used to hire the lifeguards. Pool operator. So what I would do is I would go over by the caddy shack and smoke whenever I had a break. And if anyone ever was like, "Hey man, what's that weed smell?" I would always just point at the caddy shack and be like, "I don't know what's going on over there. Those guys are problems."
Yeah, but you're talking about a different era. Like weed was around, but we didn't. The caddies didn't smoke weed. I mean, I would have known.
Find this weed in your bag,
in the tree, and someone found that tree weed too.
I know. I was hoping. I wasn't going to throw it away, so I just put it in a tree in case someone found it. I mean, I want to. You gotta give it forward or whatever the fuck they say. Pay it forward.
Right.
If Nate can host SNL, there's hope for Ray to host.
Oh yeah, I texted Ray. I go, Ray, we sent you the link, and he responded back. He won't be happy I'm reading this, but anyway. He goes, I'm in bed. I'm at Teamster Tim's place. I'd feel like a douche waking up people.
What?
He's never at his own place. I mean, he's never like he don't like to sleep alone. He wants a roomie. He doesn't like to sleep at hotels. I think he's scared of the dark.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
No, because he texted me earlier, goes, "What time are you gonna go on?" I said, he goes, "I might go live before that." So he didn't give me any. So I said probably like 10:30, 11. So I thought he would I didn't know where he was, but I know he's going to be at Teamster Tim's place. So
I know
what it is. Podcast wrap-up show?
No, that makes sense if you want to go early because you don't want to. Teamster Tim is going to have to go to bed.
I know what it is. He's looking at Ari Jane's daughter's OnlyFans right now.
Oh, come on.
And he's busy.
That's rude.
That's his daughter, man.
That's inappropriate. If Nate can host SNL, there's hope for Ray to host. It'd be funny if Ray was hosting.
KB, what's got you laughing today?
He's apologizing. Everybody's like, I know I shouldn't be hosting. I know Shuli should be hosting. I wish them well.
He comes out hosting SNL, just go, "Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? What's up?"
I'm not mad at what's the guy who runs Saturday Night Live?
Lauren.
I'm not mad at Lauren. I'm not mad at Lauren.
He made me wait a long time to host, but I'm not mad at him. He thinks I'm mad, but I'm not mad.
He just stares at the audience, waiting for the chance to come in.
He's got a monologue, but it was written by Carlos Danger, so he's looking off at it the whole time.
Carlos Danger wrote this for me. This was all his idea.
What a fucking idiot. Carlos Danger wrote. Carlos Danger told me what to say.
Carlos Danger told me to quit Shuli.
Oh my God. What a fucking idiot.
I don't want to mess with Ray too much. He was mad today. Stevie
was.
Yeah, he was on with Stevie.
Yeah, I was just
yelling.
I was just punch drunk, just letting it happen.
Why is he mad at you?
No, he was mad at the world. It was
Today?
Yeah.
He was just on with him and just kind of like
tonight.
Yeah, I had nothing. I mean, Pat's dead
on your
here.
show or Pat's show?
No, it was Ray's show.
I mean, on your show or Ray's show?
So what happened was, I guess,
whose show was it?
Okay, Ray's show. I was on Ray's show, but
at what time?
8:00.
Okay.
But before that, apparently Carlos and OJ.
I was watching that.
Right, and like they went on the offensive towards Ray, and he was all bent out of shape about that. So he struck back.
So why didn't he go on their show to address it?
Well, same reason you won't go on Opie's show. He kept saying,
just picturing Ray coming out to do the monologue on SNL. Carlos said you would like that joke.
Yeah.
Helix Driver, $5. Stevie, can you convince Kevin to bring Andrew from BYB on? Pat, keep on pushing.
I thought he was dead. I thought Andrew was dead.
So Andrew is actually on No Filter, not BYB. It's a different show, but same kind of people. And
nobody cares.
No,
12 people watch it.
Andrew has
3 of them are dying. I mean, it's
no. Andrew has severe cerebral palsy. Severe, like Quadfather times 10.
You got to get him on.
You got to get him on. Honestly, I think it would be interesting, man.
Wait, he's 10 times worse than Quadfather.
I mean, he
can only move like his eyelids.
You know, I love Andrew, and I feel terrible doing it.
Yeah, that sounds awful to me.
So it's.
But I mean, maybe it would be better. Does he come with a translator?
I could come on to help because I do the whispering thing. Peter Brennan, $2. Mom said they called Neil Lil Kev on SNL with Chappelle.
Lil Kev. You know where he's getting that from? Who the fuck is this? No, they called. Oh my god. Oh fucking Christ! I'm gonna have to go take a Artie Lang walk in a second. This is creepy.
What? Don't do that.
No, because
put the drugs in the car.
When Neil used to caddy, I caddy before him. So I brought him up to. I was already retired as a caddy, but I brought him and my brother Danny up to. I'm like, these are my brothers, you know, whatever. They want to caddy here. So they started calling Neil Mini. My caddy name was Shag because I used to shag the balls. So it was Super Shagger, and then it got whittled down to just Shag. So everybody called me Shag. That was my name. So then when Neil went up there, they called him Mini Shag. And then it got whittled down to just Minty. So it was not Mini Shag. It became Minty. So they called him Minty. Like that was his nickname for years, Minty. Even my friend Charlie still calls him, hey, Minty's at the arena downtown or whatever the fuck he says. Anyway, so that's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. You could call him Little Kev because he's like Minty. It's like Mini Shag, Little Kev. Anyway, good stuff, Peter Brennan.
That's very fucking fun to listen to. That the nickname shit, how they evolve. You know, my brother was McGill, and then he was McGettle, and then the way it fucking that shit evolves. Too bad we couldn't super chat Mr. C minus a few bucks to commit felonies online. Couldn't super chat him to go to some felonies online.
First of all, I don't know. Does that it seems a little fake to me. It seems a little fucking fake. Knowing Joey C, Borgo probably thinks it's fake too. I think it felt a little fake. If I would have seen somebody driving off in like a Starsky and Hutch thing, where the wheels are like burnt, kicking up, fucking whatever. I don't know. It felt fake. All right.
Should be Catalano. Catalano TV is.
You can read it.
I can't wait till Joey C becomes president. Laugh my motherfucking ass off.
How do you feel about holding out for Joe, Bert, or Bill before doing MLC discuss? Wow.
Yeah, I already brought up. It's like they can listen. The reason my show is doing well is because it's on every fucking day. It's on every day. So it's like, you can say whatever you want about Red Bar, but it's like, it's not on anymore. So Opie can do one. He can go on Joe or Bert or Bill. Nobody fucking cares. They're going to tell all the Opie stories, Opie and Anthony stories. It's going to help Opie get an audience for his show? No. Because like Pat Diston says, it's like Opie does a show in the morning. It looks like he's doing it from a glass elevator. And it's like, and all he does is answer old Opie and Anthony questions. So it's like, does he have his own fucking show or own point of view? I don't know. So he acts like going, this show is a piece of shit and it's toxic, but it's still on every day and people like it. So he can avoid it and wait for fucking Bert or Bill. But again, being on once is not going to, like I said, Ray DeVito is making more money than Opie is now. There you go. Thank you, Pecker 1981. Very fair question.
Pat, you also sleep in the suit. Often I do. Yeah. I'm in my jammies.
But when you used to drink, you would fall asleep in your suit, right?
Oh yeah. There were good suits to sleep in sometimes.
How about a tie? Would you sleep in a tie?
Yeah, you got to take the tie off. For sure. You strangle yourself.
No matter how drunk you get, you take off your tie?
Yeah, well, I can't say that. I mean, it was a good outfit to wear when you're drinking a lot too, because if you think like you just think, oh, look, some business guy had a bad day. You don't look like a fucking dumb drunk, right? Even though the suit, like, it's about a Three Stooges quality suit.
Have you run into that lady who hangs out outside the church?
Only that one time, but I think I'm going to go out looking for her tonight. I'm a little lonely.
This one's pretty good. $2. Migsy. Hey, Mr. Knock a Fella. Nate's owning Rockefeller.
Okay, that's not even true.
Hey, Mr. Rockefeller. Nate's owning Rockefeller.
It's not even true. He's talking about Dirty Rock because Rockefeller Center is where they do NBC and Saturday Night Live. Nate Bargatze's doing well. I'm not saying he's not, but I'm saying he's not nearly as good as he thinks he is or everybody thinks he is. It's like, send me a link. People send me links all the time. Send me a link of Nate Bargatze doing a great bit or even a great one-liner. Send me it. It's mostly men and women, my wife, blah blah blah. Everybody knows women and men don't get along. It's like Hamas and fucking the Israelis. Will they ever work it out? No. Am I getting along with my wife right now? No. So is it going to change? Maybe it might change a little bit, but is it ever going to work out magically? No. So men and women, that's why they get divorced. Send Borgo the link. Men and women don't get along, and women love to hear about how they don't get along, especially from a comic who's talking about how dumb guys are, how goofy it is to be married, and my wife said this, and I was like, that doesn't even make any sense. Puddle muffins. I mean, Pat, you've been married 6 or 7 times, right? I mean, it's like it doesn't always work out, right? You have a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of disagreements, and a lot of them play funny. Especially if you're up there, you're like, and my wife said this, and then I said that. Isn't that a hoot?
Her feet are always cold. What?
I mean, Neil did say something in a stand-up, which is true. Women are always freezing and they're always starving. I mean, that's a fact. They're always free. They're never just cold. They're freezing. Yeah. They're never hungry. They're starving.
It's true. Why does Migsy look like he just got emancipated?
Why you gotta knock a fella?
I can't help it. IMF junkie? That's the international.
Yeah, IDF. I was close though.
No, he's talking to me. He's talking. I'm junkie. So I was saying IMF before, and I was wrong.
No, but I was trying to get IDF because I hear it all the time, and I always forget it.
He's coming at me on this one.
I know, but I got it wrong too. I got the two. I know is Israel defense. I don't know what the last one was.
You're both
fund because they're good with money. Gustav, Israel Defense Fund.
Gustav, can we go have a drink in New York City and fucking?
Gustav's a legend. He nailed Chad so bad yesterday that he was already a legend, but yesterday he was like, I was stumped.
First of all, he was the everybody get naked guy. That was Gustav, and then
but there was a couple. But the fact that he was telling Chad the fact that he was telling Chad where Chad was at, where he saw him, and then Chad was like, "Oh, that's right." He basically was like, it might have been like the district attorney, where he would have been better nailing Chad with the credit card case in Florida than whoever they had, because Gustav fucking nailed Chad, and it was fucking hilarious.
Was he doing it in person or in super chats?
Super chats. He kept sending super chats like, Chad, remember she was a black girl and she was from Norfolk, and then Chad was like, oh, that's right, she was, and she was really annoying because then Chad ran with it instead of going, oh yeah, you caught me. Chad was like, yeah, she kept saying she was from Norfolk, and why would she keep bragging about it? It's not even a good town. Where really basically Gustav was just like, Chad kept denying it until he nailed him, and then Chad was like, "Oh, that's right, she was, yeah." Instead of just going, "Yeah, I'm a fucking liar," and I shouldn't have denied it in the first. Chad acted like it never happened until he got busted.
Wow, it's amazing if somebody can actually make a guy tell the truth. Damn, Joey C sounds gangster. Is he gonna rap? Where's he hiding the Uzi and 64 Impala? Shrug
life.
Joey C, we just sent him the link, except he's probably sleeping with that Newport who's stealing all his cocaine.
Berlinski, Canadian $2. The left side, Stevie, that's called a stroke. He's referring to how I took a beating on one side.
Do you smell toast burning?
Yeah. I smell burning hair right now.
Oh, it's your brother again. KB, non-Piazza BFF Tim Dillon ended Michael Che's career.
Yeah, it didn't help.
How?
Michael
What
Che
he
was like, huh?
They beefed hardcore on Instagram. Michael Che would do a thing where he would put text as an Instagram post, and there was some weird beef that happened a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, where he was like, Che was going, this chubby white dude that I used to do open mics with is now talking all this shit or something like that. And
no, Che was mad that people were making it as non-broadcasters and not on TV as podcasters or whatever.
Right.
But it's like, if Che had somewhere to go, he would have left SNL already. He's got nowhere to go. So it's
Where
like,
is he to go? I mean, like you said, it's an amazing job.
No, but it's an amazing job, but it's like it pays well, and they made him the head writer, but he has nowhere to go. That's why he doesn't leave. You can't stay there too long, because then after a while, it's like you're not going to leave. So he's got nowhere to go because he doesn't have like a fan base. Tim Dillon is wildly more popular than Michael Che is right now. Wildly more popular.
I know that. You know, Che is really young too.
Huh?
Super.
No,
young.
he's not young. He's not young.
Che's not young?
No.
Not anymore. Black don't crack, but he's not young.
10 years ago, he was young.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, so was I.
Wait, I'm not young anymore?
No.
Fuck.
Total Piazza hot tub death. Newport nerds rise up. Newport nerds right.
I don't even know what he's saying. What's he saying?
Total Piazza.
Instead of total piggy death, he's going total Piazza hot tub death.
Oh, because he's a panini?
Mr. Kill Everything loves his hot tub.
Could I be any more relaxed?
No, is he saying that Chandler Bing is a panini or Piazza?
That was one that even stumped the super chat whisperer. So congrats.
Yeah, he was saying total, Piazza hot tub death. I believe that's what he was saying. At least Matthew Perry finally passed away clean in a bathtub. Yeah, at least there's that. They must have put him in there.
The bathroom gets you, though. Like Kevin said, Whitney, Elvis died in the bathroom. Who else?
It's convenient, though. It's easier for cleanup.
Yeah. I mean, you don't like decompose and stick to the carpet.
No, it's just the bathroom is just easier to clean than carpet or sofa or anything. Or
you just
rinse everything off.
You know, they have people that'll come if you blow your brains out. They come and there's crews that come and clean. You hire them to clean up after suicide.
Oh, that's good to know. Forward that to my wife. I like how when somebody fucking. I mean, I like when people like these people with mental health issues. I have mental health issues. Nobody checks up on me. It's like after that guy from Maine, I can't believe they haven't come up with any funny limericks from that guy from Maine who was in a lot of pain that killed 22 people. But anyway, the point is that someone should check up on me when people are like, when Richard Jeni, remember Richard Jeni killed himself, and people are like, that's terrible. Nobody called me and go, are you okay? So it's like after the fact, everyone's like, oh, I should have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, Freddie Prinze, before he shot himself, he reached out to Tony Orlando, and Tony Orlando's like, man, you okay, bro? Don't worry about it, and then he killed himself.
Sleep it off. He was just to sleep it off, man.
No, didn't he reach out to that one comic?
The only one I know about is Tony Orlando. I don't know about him reaching out to a comic, but I mean,
maybe I'm thinking about the guy who bought him the gun.
I was a little kid. I don't know.
I was still doing open. I was doing open mics back then.
You were doing open mics when Chico and the Man was on?
Yeah, 1972.
Damn, no way.
I'm kidding, of course.
Oh, okay. Damn. Jesus. Matthew Perry tried to pass Joey see a fake Louis Vuitton, and Joey did what a good pimp do. No honor in purse hooking anymore.
There is no honor.
That was a callback to the purse
that was
hooking,
from Borgo, right?
Earlier this week, yep.
Yeah, where Borgo at?
Adam Soundboard, the whole.
Can't believe Joey didn't say that.
When Adam Soundboard callback now to Almost Heroes. The Whole 9 Yards was also a great movie. That was with Bruce Willis and Amanda Peet. That's actually not a bad film. They made a sequel.
I think I saw Amanda Peet on a plane or something.
Amanda Peet shows boob in that film, and that's kind of like
sexy there for about
very, very pretty.
A good half hour.
Yeah, she was on everyone's hot list for a while, and then now she probably looks like Bridget Fonda. Did you see a picture of her?
No.
The latest picture, because her husband, the guy, what's the guy's name? The musician?
Ted Turner?
Huh? No, you're thinking of Jane Fonda. Bridget Fonda. Her husband is what?
My bad.
He's a famous musician. He did all the Simpsons stuff and
shit.
Oingo Boingo. What's his name? Holy shit. Elfman. Danny Elfman.
Yeah, Danny Elfman. He was accused of sexually assaulting. He's apparently he gets these women in situations and he jerks off. And then the second time, but when you see a picture of her, I tweeted, I said, you can't really blame him because I mean, she looks terrible. I mean, she's fat as fuck. She's got those bingo wings. I can't even, don't get me started.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got to make sure. I don't even know how you protect yourself. You should be able to be like fat wife insurance. You know what I mean? Where you're like, if your wife gets real fat, the insurance company has to pay you or something because you're gonna cheat on her or something. Something's gonna backfire against you because your wife is a fat fucking cunt whore.
And it's bound to happen, you know. I mean, look at
like if your wife gets so fat, you get so mad that you take it out on other people. So they should have some yeah, so you should have some insurance where at least you're getting paid.
It's so sure to happen though. It would cost like $200 a week or something.
Yeah, but Bridget Fonda, Jesus. I mean, you think she's going to hold up because of Jane Fonda and just the Fonda family. Not a lot of fatties in the Fonda family.
Meg Ryan looks like shit. You see her? She got too much surgery. She looks like a fucking...
Yeah, but Bridget Fonda should get some kind of liposuction or whatever. She's a fucking fat hog. Anyway, Stevie.
Michael Rappaport wrote Perry was always so nice, cool, chill, and talented. He added, "You are a part of American culture, and will live on forever."
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, was that the foreword to Perry's book or something?
He took a break from his attack on Hamas,
or saying Jewish. You gotta say Jewish instead of Jew.
He was cool, chill, and talented.
The only reason why Michael Rappaport is a subject topic here is because Ray just instinctively tried to go to that the other day.
I was talking about the other day. I played it on my show.
Oh, true. Mm-hmm.
But he brought it up in the famous Shuley argument, which is
ludicrous because he tried to change the subject. Even Bob, as stoned as he is, was like he's trying to change the subject.
You ever notice how so many of their conversations about other people, like they're not thinking about it already? It comes from the chat, and then they have these like really well-formed ideas about it.
Right.
Interesting how that happens.
This is a gay guitar guy. We call him Triple G. $5. Stevie, you killed it, homie. Outperformed on every level. Just wanted to say kudos. Gay guitar guy had a fight tonight with another guy from BYB. Our buddy Granny Loves Anal. That's his name. Yeah, sorry, Pat. I don't want to.
Opie's right.
A little disturbing.
Opie should stay away from this.
But yeah, gay guitar guy and Granny Loves Anal fought.
They had a real fight like you did?
Yes. Very much real
Where?
fight. It was down in like southern Florida in like some dirt.
Like a cockfight?
Yes. It was like on an old dirt road. They literally went out and slugged it out. We'll be covering it on.
And they wore headgear like you guys did?
No, they did not.
Knuckle.
Yeah, they wore gloves.
Florida style.
Yeah, if folks want to check out BYB.
Did anybody win or were they all losers?
To be honest, I was watching the fight when you sent me the link, so I stopped it before the end. But I heard it was good. I heard it was a good match.
Looks like gay guitar guy survived. Was Ski Mask on the call?
No, thankfully he only had one job this weekend.
Brennan Network 2.
The douche.
That might work. The douche. That might work.
It's really good.
That might work. Movie star fingernails.
One of the greatest books you ever read was by Tommy Chong.
I hate to say it, but yeah.
So they make it into a movie like Jaws?
No. Okay, and if you guys want to test me, the other greatest book I ever read was by Jim Valvano. Fucking Personal Foul, the Jim Valvano story.
He wrote it after he died or before
he died? Before he died. It's about his time at North Carolina State. They ended up getting their titles stripped from them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the fucking.
Well, he was put on probation for a couple of years.
He coached at Iona College, which was my hometown. I used to be a towel boy at Iona College when I was 10 years old. I used to, wipe the sweat up.
I used to be a towel boy in porn back in the 70s.
Oh, what?
I used to be a towel boy back at Penn State for the football team.
The second I said that, I knew I was fucking.
I'm a towel boy.
Towel boy.
Damn.
What did the lady on the beach say to Jerry Sandusky?
What?
You're in my son. Allegedly.
Did you hear about the big Jerry Sandusky sale at Walmart? Boys' pants half off.
There you go.
First of all, how's he doing? You don't hear a lot about him. How's he doing in jail?
I thought he died.
No, he's still alive. We would have known if he died.
I thought I'm sure he's doing fine.
No, he's not. I can't. I'm curious. Like, how is he doing?
He's got.
He didn't do anything.
Two warm meals and a cot.
Two hots and a cot.
Two hots and a cot. Sorry.
What'd you say? 2 warm meals and a bed?
I took a few shots to the head last night. 2
warm meals and a floor over at the Catalano TV house.
Catalano TV. It's probably more entertaining than fucking NBC TV, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm going straight to Catalano Studios.
Everyone's sleeping on the floor.
You don't come to Catalano Studios and treat a man like Joey C like that.
Oh my God. Opie's right. Stay away, Opie. This is toxic. Wait for a fucking Bert or Billy Burr to call you.
Movie star fingernails, $2. Stevie Lou bringing back Awkward.
I don't know what that was.
I said that earlier. I don't know what I was talking about.
Oh, you're bringing it back.
Stevie.
Go
ahead, Pat. Go
ahead. Stevie, next time use this formula: attack, block, counter. Come out to LA to train with some real killers. Attack, block, counter.
The guy I train with.
I like to see you train with Furious in LA for a couple of years and then come back and beat the shit out of Gino Bisconte.
Did they shoot that fucking dirt road fight down there by any chance?
Yeah.
They did shoot it.
They did, yeah. Yep. Yeah, they have a GoPro. They have a GoPro footage.
Ski Mask Collective. Where can we find it?
It'll be on BYB on Monday. We'll be covering it. We'll be covering my
You
fight.
guys you're gonna make us wait till Monday?
It was fight weekend. We had the I don't know if you we're gonna bore some of the fan base, but they had an amazing fight tonight between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. I don't know if you guys know about that, but this guy,
are they in BYB too?
Yeah, well, we should. But this guy Ngannou was an MMA heavyweight who never fought in a boxing match in his life, and he fought the current heavyweight champion, and it went not only 12 rounds, but Ngannou knocked Tyson Fury down in the 3rd round or something like that. So it was like a real weird spectacle. It was like that fight where Conor McGregor fought Mayweather a couple of years ago, but they took it much more serious. So there was a major victory for the MMA community today with Ngannou giving it, the full 10 rounds.
What time is your show on Monday?
We do 8 p.m. If you'd like,
I'm swiping it.
we would have you on, Pat, if you want to come on.
Thanks for asking, because I want to do anything I can to avoid it. I don't want to watch it by accident.
Pat, the guys over at BYB, they love you. So if you would like to come on, if you would be
20 people watch the fucking show.
We get like 40.
Hope he thinks I do bad numbers. Jesus Christ.
We're gonna get the Brennan bump. You've been having Quadfather on a bunch lately, so thank you very much for helping out BYB.
I like to get the Rob Saw bump, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Junkie, they are comfortable with you because they're very, very sure you're a Piazza, and then you Cosby'd them. Tell the truth, Junkie.
He's gonna nail you like you nailed Chad yesterday.
Oh man, Gustav.
He's got you figured out.
It was 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink. Leave me alone.
I don't know what that.
I always do that. I go 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
1 in the brown. Adam Soundboard, $2. Now in New York, I get weed water. Delicious and works.
What?
They must have some sort of drinkable THC. I haven't heard
serious?
of it.
Like when you're working out, weed water?
Mm-hmm.
They actually put it in the water now in the water supply.
Yeah.
So everyone's chill?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. William Borges at $5. How many kids were diddled underwater at the country club pool?
At your pool?
Yeah.
How many do you think?
Not any that I knew of.
Did you do?
Come on.
But you were the pool operator. Pool operator. But that was your title, right? The pool operator?
I was the assistant pool director at a.
You're like the pool pimp. Hey, I'm the pool operator. You want to hook up with that girl?
I can have you in the water in a few minutes.
I used to give swim lessons. I was very good at it.
I bet you were.
Did you teach Matthew Perry to swim?
Yeah.
Sorry. Scorched Earth Kevin, we need you to show no mercy, especially if a Shuli is involved. No mercy.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. No mercy.
Album. No mercy for Shulies.
Really, after doing this press tour, they'd be like, "What are Shulies?" And I just keep showing them clips of Shuli talking to Bob. And then they're watching Stuttering John. What? But Stuttering John hosting SNL or Ray DeVito hosting SNL was literally classic.
Greg told me to subscribe to Harry Jr.'s OnlyFans and then give myself RSI of the wrist and cover my SCIO.
Friction burns.
Wait, did Carlos Danger, he was promoting on his stream today?
No. What this is that this is someone doing a Ray impersonation. And they're saying that Ray is saying Carlos Danger told me to go jerk off to Ari Jane's daughter's OnlyFans, and he not only gave himself a wrist problem, he also burned the skin off his dick,
covered his schlong in friction burns. Carlos Danger told me to subscribe. Sorry if I got tropical. Alcohol was involved. Slightly tropical.
I don't be able to get tropical.
That is like when you follow up your joke with a extra joke on top of it. That's impressive, I gotta say.
I love my lady, but her feet and hands are cold.
It's a Nate Bargatze joke. Good job, mister.
Oh, that's literally his joke?
Yeah, that's
Oh my God! There you go, Exhibit A. I thought Mr. Kill Everything was making a joke because he always talking about his wife, how he loves her so much. Wait, that's his act. I love my lady, but her feet.
You were saying that earlier as a joke.
I'm not saying that's everybody's joke. And I'm saying Neil was saying it. Neil maybe stole it from Nate Bargatze or vice versa. Like Neil's whole thing is all women are freezing. They're not cold. They're freezing, and they're not hungry. They're starving. And then you have to
cunts.
No, imagine if your friend, if you have a male friend who wasn't ready to be eaten and he kept saying how he was starving, you'd be like, shut the fuck up. You're not starving. If you were starving, you wouldn't be able to talk. You'd be so obsessed with how hungry you were. So you're not hungry and you're not fucking freezing either, you fucking cunt. But that's his act, right? That's literally from his act.
I used to love my lady.
Stevie, you said it is. Is it or is
I don't know. I know. I don't want to go on record in saying that.
But you think it is?
It could be. It sounds like it would be.
Wow.
Hell, anybody could say that on stage. If you walked out and said that first thing, I love my lady, but her hands and feet are cold because she's dead.
Because she's dead. I can't stay long because the police will be here shortly.
That would be a Patton Oswalt joke, if anything.
Oh. Jesus, who are you? Fucking Chad?
Jesus Christ, yeah.
F the Shuley Network. Send Camel Crush the link.
Who's that? Ari Jane?
I don't know. Oh, Camel Crush would be what's it? Ray's girl. Where Newports were involved. She smokes Newports, I think. The one.
Oh my God, Elise.
What's her name? Elise. Yeah, I think she's Camel Crush.
She is. That's
why.
Good recall because she smokes. No. Camel Crush is a cigarette that there's like a little bead inside the filter where it's a regular cigarette until you press the bead and it creates it to be a Newport. It's some real ghetto shit.
I mean, I used to smoke those all the time.
Yeah,
there's a little bead in the butt, like right in this part right here.
Of any cigarette, and imagine
it's called Camel Crush. They call it Crush specifically. So you crush the bead.
You crush it like that when you're smoking it, and it just like releases all this mentholated shit.
Oh,
good for you.
So
when you're tripping, when you're tripping balls on ecstasy, it is a game changer. Let me tell you. And I don't do that shit.
If you don't crush it, it's just a regular cigarette. Yes. But if you do, it's a Newport.
So you're like, am I in the mood for a little regular? Or
that's interesting.
I always crush that shit right away. I'm in the mood. I am late to the party. Did you see Bob and Gino, two low-rent panini eating piazzas, trying to be like KB and Pat earlier today? Love Pat on MLC, and congrats on your fight, Stevie Lou.
Wait, Gino's doing a show with Bob now?
No. Gino does a show called Gratcast, and today he had Bob Levy and Jake Hudson as his guests on his show.
Bob Levy's the guest on the Gino, but even though Correct. Bob Levy less than a year ago, Bob Levy told me on the phone he was going to drive to a gig that Gino was at
beat him
half to death. He was going to drive. He said, Gino's doing a gig near my house. I'm going to drive to the gig, ask him what's up, beat him half to death. And then after the gig, I call him. I go, Bob, how'd that work out? He goes, yeah, I didn't make it down there. But now he's doing a show, and Gino's so desperate to get numbers. He's like, I'll get Bob Levy, cokehead, and Jake Hudson, fucked up head, whatever you call him. What do you call him?
He's sure showing you good, isn't he? He's really proving you who's wrong.
I guess Bob had to go carry the show for him or something. But
Jesus Christ.
Gino just yelled at Bob the other day on Shuley. He came on there and he
in person.
No, I'm sorry. He wasn't on the show with him. He was like, I guess he was watching them and talking about him. So, doing, breaking it down and everything.
Who, Bob was breaking down Gino?
Gino was breaking down BS show.
Honestly, I hate to say it, but I think Bob's getting senile and he may not even know who Gino is. Like when he does these shows, it may be one of those things where he's just kind of like, okay.
Listen, I know if you do a show and you with Jake Hudson, you're a good company. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you look around and you're like,
listen. Bob's starting a new network. He's starting a new network.
Oh, he's promoting himself.
Yeah, he's doing it with Gino and Jake. He's starting a new network.
It was like the classic Dan Natterman when he was going to audition for some commercial or some TV show.
That's what's going on there.
He was waiting around and he was looking at all the people. He's like, look at all these fucking nerds.
That's great. Because people look just like you. You're all reading for the same thing, so it's a bunch of nerd types.
No, so he's like, look at all these fucking nerds. What am I doing hanging around with these nerds? So if you're Bob Levy and you're on a show with Jake Hudson, Bob, you're a fucking loser. If you're on any show with Jake Hudson, you're a fucking loser.
Don't say that. He's going to start a new show with Anthony Zenhauser next week, I heard.
If you're on a show with Jake Hudson, you're a fucking loser. No ifs, ands, or buts. Sorry.
Yeah. Natterman had that one really good joke, though, because
Natterman had like 25 great jokes.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you want to go,
great jokes.
If you want to get laid in the village, you got to walk down to the corner and turn gay.
And then he would make it even. And then he goes, yeah, they make it easy for you. Like butthole. You go to a bar and it's called Butthole. or just ridiculous name. But they wouldn't even fucking in gay bars in New York. They wouldn't even try to pretend they weren't gay bars.
No, there was no shame.
Yeah, it was like the poop shoot.
Yeah, man's ass.
Yeah.
It's like you want to go to man's ass and get a burger.
The butt fuck tavern.
That's where Chrissy started her shows. I heard back when she first.
Butt fuck tavern. Yeah.
No, that place in right off of it's a famous place. What's the bar called?
Stonewall.
Yeah, 7th Avenue.
I used to play the piano during that show, like play people up and down when she first started it.
What is it called again?
Butt fuck tavern.
Butt fuck tavern.
No, what's it called?
Stonewall Tavern.
Stonewall Inn. It's right next to Stonewall. What's it called? It's like
Stonewall Inn. It's the name of the bar.
That's what it was. Yeah.
No, that's the bar. That's where gay started. But what's the?
That's where gay started.
No, gay started at Stonewall Inn, but there's like a bar that Chrissy used to perform at.
It was there. It was at Stonewall Inn, bro.
It wasn't. I'll bet you, Stevie Lou. I'll find the name tomorrow. Doodle, go ahead, Pat.
I am late to the. We already did it.
We did?
Yeah. I'm late to the party. Did you see Bob and Gino, 2 low rent panini eating piazzas?
Thank you, Doodle.
KB and Dixon can have a drink and a cigar with us. Mr.
Kill Everything, yeah.
Detroit or Arizona? They live in 2 places. I know everything.
William Borges in 5 books.
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman is an older version of Dr. Chow.
He really is a creepy. I mean, I saw a picture of Danny Elfman today. He's a creepy looking fucking older version of Dr. Chow. But Borgo's right. He's a creepy looking dude. Bridget Fonda looks disgusting. It's like they deserve each other.
It's a dead man's party.
Next one to go will be the mud shark from a Newport in a sauna. Because of the dick thing. He fell on a dick.
What?
Next one to go will be the mud shark from a Newport in a sauna.
Oh, like after Matthew Perry?
Yeah, but it sounds also like a clue thing. You know, it was a Newport in the sauna with a
Newport with a cock in the sauna.
Exactly.
Here's a few bucks to kick the pores in the future.
Cousin IT.
Cousin IT, just sign up. You're already. Oh, everyone's a member. So, I see what you're saying. You're right.
Plug your dates, KB.
Oh my God. I can't even listen, man. I'm going to teach everybody a lesson. When I come back, it's going to be ugly for everybody. Nate Bargatze, Mark Norman, all these fucking hacks.
Don't call it a cum hack.
Wait a second. Right. When you come back to stand up, you mean?
Yeah, when I come back, it's going to be bad for everybody.
Fuck. I mean, Ray's been telling him for a good year now that he needs to come back. So
I'm coming back. And it's going to be ugly.
Is he still working on that material for you?
I hope so. But he's sleeping at fucking Teamster Tim's right now. I hope it's.
He's got a pit bull humping his face right now. He thinks.
I should call him. I go, come on, I need that material by tomorrow.
If he's over there, I bet he's got the pink blanket.
You know he's got the blanket. But he should have told me. He's like, "Are you going live today?" He should have told me. I'll be slinging it. I'll be slinging it. I'll be sleeping at it and slinging it. Teamster Tim does not like
This
any
is burnt.
gay stuff.
Stevie Lou stinks. 100.
What?
Northwest Ken he was voicing his displeasure with me, and now he's also
always mad about members only.
Yeah.
I think he wants to meet bitches who aren't members. He's the only guy who gets mad when it's members only.
You can't have a lot of Northwest fans. I'm sorry, no offense.
No. Most people don't want the poors in here because they just start trouble.
Did Kumia Country get a hold of Stevie Pooh?
So, Pat, what happened was I was trying to go get some tacos at this bar, and there's a food truck at the bar.
How boring is this story on a scale of 1 to 10?
And then this guy, he asked me, he was like, "Hey, aren't you a comic? I heard you're a comic." And I was like, "Hey, buddy, why don't you go fuck off?" And then next thing I know, he's spitting on me, and I punched him. But then he punched me, and I threw an oil can at him.
Anthony's heart said, "This is Chad country." Pat's eyebrow raise makes him look like he's always smelling what The Rock is cooking.
Wait, Stevie Pooh, did you put ice on it?
So honestly, this is one of those things where it's very superficial, where there's not.
So is it gonna get worse like Chad's did?
No. Like Chad took a real hard blow.
How do you know?
Because this is not. It's all work. Like this is not bruising. This is just like some blood vessels on the skin that popped. It's not like a bruise thing.
Yeah, it's not blue or anything. It's not.
No, but honestly, like you can see my I have bruises all over the side of me. Like
You do? Show us.
Well, that's my
tattoo. That's a tattoo.
Yeah, you can't see it, so I'm sorry. It's not. This is not working. Oh fuck! Fuck.
Looks like I'm smelling what The Rock is cooking. You need backup singers. Joey's Floor Newports. And the Joey's Floor Newports.
The Ed Sullivan Show.
Bring on those Swisher sweets.
Yeah, you can't see it. Sorry.
Are you making all this up, Stevie?
No, the motherfucker hit me like his power side would be his right side. So like
you were in better shape than I thought you were for a pothead.
You moved like a boxer. I was really kind of surprised. I mean, you looked like a pugilist.
Thank you, Pat. No, I appreciate that. I just took the matter seriously, and I got to give Ryan absolute credit where he kind of like changed my life to the fact where I went and really took this seriously and will probably continue boxing. I don't think in fights, but I'll continue training because a boxing workout is one of the best workouts I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, but you said in training you were mostly watching Rocky movies.
That was a work.
That was a work. All right.
Well, I mean, everybody thought I was as crazy as this fucking sounds, the guy who was a foot taller was considered the underdog because everybody just kind of had assumed
Asian Pat Dixon was in good shape.
Well, he's a fucking monster. I mean,
yeah, and I did so to give him credit, I did not underestimate him for 1 second. I was going like 5 times, like every waking moment that I had free, I was going to this gym and I was doing, drills.
When you weren't watching Rocky movies
or jerking off. Yeah.
Stealth training. Sure. I used to be a towel boy at Compound Media, and nobody told me, Brian McCarthy. Johnny Russo, $5. In AC's new book, he thinks you would have killed Gino that day at Compound Media. Also, why are Opie and Stud Joe such pieces of shit? And why is Gumia funnier than both?
I can't wait to read his book. Did you hear about this book?
Yeah, he said he's been writing it for a bit.
No, Pat, I'm talking to Pat.
I haven't heard it. I don't know what it is.
No, Johnny Russo.
Kumia's new book. Yeah.
Johnny Russo helped him write it, and he's saying it's just real. Yeah, but it's not. It's all from Kumia's perspective. Everything's from his perspective. So, but I guess that's most books are. Anyway, because I thought he was interviewing people. I thought because he was doing. I know he went to Chicago. He was interviewing comics, so I thought it was going to be more about that, but I guess it's not. So apparently there's a whole chapter about me. So there's definitely a chapter about you, Pat, if there's a chapter about me. So
I bet I get left out.
But yeah, I would love to read if he thinks Gino, I would have killed Gino that day. Also via Opie and Stutcho. Yeah.
He ran into the control booth and held the door closed out of fear. Like, he's tried to rewrite that history. I've seen him do that recently, and I know Pat's probably like, yeah, this guy likes to rewrite history. But yeah, he claims that you didn't have him scared to death when you had him scared half to death.
Well, I think the reality was he knew that it might get weird if I got to him. Like, either equipment would get broken or something would get weird. So he's like, better safe than sorry. So I don't know. I don't know what would have happened. Like, I know I was mad enough to like that I didn't give a shit.
Right.
Like, I didn't want to like, I wasn't necessarily going to break equipment, but if equipment got broke in the process, I probably wouldn't have cared. But the fact that Levy was there to kind of stop it was helpful.
You didn't
I'll
mind
admit to that.
If equipment got used, I don't mind.
No, because I mean, I was going to lose $100 a week. That's a lot of money to Ray DeVito, but it's not a lot of money to me, you know. So
right. Do you remember a time when you were on sitting next to Gino and he kept touching you and shit? He just kept touching you, and then I was watching it on YouTube a couple of times, and then like you're trying to talk and he just reaches over and he starts fucking with the microphone. But he was doing something to you, and you're like, ah, damn, I'm going to punch you in the face.
I said that?
Yeah.
I've seen that. There's a cut. There's a super cut.
But that's after
there.
you punched him?
No, before.
Yeah.
So
that's hilarious. No, I don't remember.
He kept punching you. He kept like putting his arm and punching you. And
I think I remember. Yeah, because
you were like, enough.
Gina was by the time it was 4:00, Gina was already drunk, so he would get real like handsy. Gino's like at least 3/4 gay, but he would masquerade his homosexuality by punching you because he couldn't just fondle your balls. But I knew what he was doing, so I was just like, just let me fucking not.
Yeah, 3/4 gay. Like, why do you think he has Jim Stansel on to complete the other quarter?
Right.
He actually spit did you see he spits the whiskey into his mouth? That clip.
Wait.
Gino and Jim Stansel?
It's called a baby bird shot. That's a thing that.
Wait, what happens now?
Like, you take the shot and then you spit it into the other person's mouth, because what they usually do is like
compound meter at the bar.
This was a compound during a show, and Gino's hosting and Stansel's on, and there was only one little bottle of liquor left, and I guess Stansel drank it, but then it's the last bit of liquor, and then he's like, oh, what's it? And then like, or one of the other drank the last bit, and then like came around and they spit it into his mouth.
Right.
Wow.
What gay guys usually do is it's cum. One guy would finish off the guy, and then the other one would be like, no, give me the cum. So they'd spit the cum into the other guy's mouth.
How do you know?
Similar situation. I hear things.
Drag shows.
Living in Hell's Kitchen. Thank you, Pat.
Yeah.
You're right.
I was down in Chelsea, so because wow, I didn't know Anthony was even writing a book.
I think it's done. Johnny Russo, send me the link. I mean, send me the what do you call it, manuscript?
Yeah, I want to go over.
So you got to get Anthony's new book and get it signed by Pat, Kevin, all of the people that are named in the book. I think that's a good.
Yeah, with the new book by A. See, can I make Stevie's other eye black? Northwest Ken, $1.99 at a time, taking the whole show apart. Greg Lampert, after seeing Asian Pat doing battle with 8 feet tall Goliath Lou, I think the next fight is to make a chode weight bout between Stansel and Oriental Pat.
Yeah, I mean, I know Jim Stansel is a world-class athlete, but after facing Asian Pat, I would say that Stansel would have a problem.
Are they the same height, Stansel and
They are. That would be a much more even matched fight. I'd
like to see them wrestle like two little boys,
spitting whiskey into each other's mouths.
That's pay-per-view. When you add in the spitting whiskey. That's a little bit. That's something for everybody.
Goes into another territory. Yeah. Too hot for
if you can't shove a dildo down the other guy's throat, you spit some whiskey in his mouth. That's the old in hot water way.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hey, where's that guy, Johnny Russo? Oh yeah, and Johnny Russo always wants to know, why is Cumia funnier than both? Cumia is funnier than like everybody. So I know it's like a running gag, but like you can't really get mad that Cumia is funnier than Opie or who do you pick here?
It's
Gino,
like why was Wilt Chamberlain?
Opie and Stuttering John. It's like Cumia is funnier than everybody, really. So he's gonna be. So I know what you're doing, and I appreciate it. But it's like people are like, oh, Opie wasn't as funny, as Cumia. Yeah, Cumia is funnier than like everybody. If you listen, I'm not just saying that. It's like when you hang out with the guy, you're like, the guy's really funny. So it's Cumia's gonna win just about against everybody. Maybe it's a tie. But he's going to win against, and I know everybody. I know Nate Bargatze. I know Louis C.K. I know Dave Chappelle. I know Louis C.K.
Okay,
but it's like
I say
Cumia's naturally a gifted, funny guy. He's funny talking regular. He's funny as impressions. I mean, me and Gino and Cumia used to do some shit where I'd be like, I would just put Cumia on the spot to do like a funny Dice Clay, and he would fucking nail it. And I would be amazed that he would just nail it on the spot. Like he would never back down. Like even when he did My Old Man, I must have set him up like 30 times that episode. But like, what would your old man say? And he would fucking nail it every time. I'm like, this isn't this. And he would never go, oh, come on, man. He would always come up with something. And he's really good.
Would you say that Anthony is funnier than Dice Clay?
Yes, Dice Clay is funnier than Dice Clay.
Okay.
Andrew Cumia's Dice Clay is funnier than Dice Clay being Dice Clay.
God, that's true.
Fair.
That really is true.
Because Dice Clay was as great as he was. Cumia makes it funnier because he parodies it a little bit, but not too much. Right. He just makes it a little bit like 10% more ridiculous than Dice Clay made it, and it's funnier.
Well, because he does.
His Pat Dixon is funnier than me.
Yeah, and exactly. That's why that one episode we were drunk when Pat was following us. I said, come out and do. I think you were late or something. I said, I said, let the show start as you doing Pat Dixon, and it was fucking hilarious. Like he's just a gifted guy.
Oh, that episode it was the week of the punch or whatever. It was the end of the week. It was Thursday. You and Levy were there, and he started doing me. And you guys were all just talking about like all the shit that just kept coming up. Everybody was like, that's the best episode in a long time, months.
Yeah, it was great. Just like with the New York Post, he's like, I mean, you can't like who's funny, who's funnier, Opie or Cumia? Yeah, but you could say Cumia against anybody. And then fucking Sue Costello shitting on Joe Rogan yesterday was fucking classic because Joe Rogan's not a great stand-up. He's not even close. I don't even know if he's funny. Like on his show, he's not funny. Like it's a good show and people like it. I watch it. I'm like, he has good guests. He asks good questions.
Show. It's a straight up interview.
But is he close to hilarious? Is he close to Cumia or like great comedy? No, it's not really even a comedy show. Like he has comics on and becomes a comedy show, but like. But Cumia is just funny, man. You can't like if you just met Cumia, he was at your job, you'd be like, this guy's a funny guy.
Yeah, it's always there. Yeah, you can count on it. It's
if he's awesome. Drunk, if he's sober, he's just funny. So people are always like, oh, he's funnier than Opie. Yeah, he's funnier than everybody, kind of.
It's not even like with him and Opie. It's not even. It's apples and oranges. Even you know what I mean. Like
Opie was the host, and he was the greatest. Cumia was the greatest number 2 of all time. That's just what it was. I mean, Opie was a great host. Again, I didn't watch the show like everybody else did, but Opie's a good host. Cumia was the greatest number 2 of all time.
If you think about it, he's like Fred Norris on steroids.
Yeah, I would agree, except I don't know who Fred Norris is.
That was Stern's number 2.
Oh yeah, Fred, right?
Yeah, Fred's like a.
Fred would do the impersonations. He would do the sound bits.
But he's not.
Anthony was like Fred.
He's not a breakout talent. Right, Cumia's like a breakout talent.
That's what I was saying.
No, before you work, yeah, but Fred's not. Before you work at Coom, before I worked at Compound, I didn't even know Kumi. And then the more I hung out with him, I'm like, this guy's like always funny. Like I would do my show at 2:00. Between 3:30 and 4, there'd be downtime.
I'm not comparing Fred to Anthony. I'm saying Anthony was like Fred times 1,000.
Yeah, but Fred's not funny. Fred's just
Fred
just
was
a friend.
very funny. Come on,
he's a friend of Howard Stern. I haven't seen a clip of him being funny.
All right, well,
Kevin,
to disagree.
He's a hack impressionist.
I think that you are going to be the one to reunite Opie and Anthony.
I want to be.
I want to bring back Stuttering John. The people said it couldn't be done, and I think you can breathe life back into that.
For $3,000.
It might take, a little more. I don't know.
I'll have to pay them both $3,000.
Wouldn't it be worth it though?
I would. And then Sheila be like, "I can't believe Brennan scooped me.
He shoolied me.
Where does he get all this money? $6,000. This is crazy." Do we read this?
Yes.
Yeah. Cousin It, R.I.T. Squeeze mine and flavor squirts out to Crushers.
That's a reference to the cigarette.
Yeah, Camel Crushers.
I want to get some of those.
They're good. Cigars in Detroit. Phoenix is forever in the past.
What happened? You guys sold it, or that was a business thing you had going? I'm sure they'll tell us on the next show. Because they kept flying back and forth, they said.
Hey,
wow. One Furious F with the red spot, 100. KB, I hope you're feeling better. Pat, you're my childhood hero for breaking Gino's jaw, allegedly. But it would help if you come on wearing a fedora and have a big-titted secretary on the side. Stevie is a good egg. Long live MLC. Cheers, boys.
Well, I'm all for both of those things. I mean, like, big titty. We do a GoFundMe or
a big titty. What do you say? Big titty secretary.
I'm trying to get the reference. Yeah, I'm thinking like,
well, you know,
Mad Men or
it's like this private eye kind of shit, and like, or maybe I could have her sit on my lap and take a letter, you know, in shorthand.
And you're smoking a cigarette the whole time.
She's like, "Is that something in your pocket?" I go, "Nope." That's all me. And she'd have
I am feeling a little better. I threw up a couple of days ago. It was weird. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, the big-titted secretary. That'd be a great gag one night. Just hire a big-titted secretary.
God, I'd love that. I always
Thank you. That. Thank you, Furious. Thanks for the hundo. Seriously.
Thanks.
Bring the funny. Why is Stevie Lou here again? I like how Northwest Gang comes in 217. He's shitting on you at 217. Stevie Lou was here. First of all, he just got into literally a fight. Oh, he dropped himself off?
Did he? I thought you did that. Teddy, $1.99.
No, he did it.
Bring on the
Catalanas. He's still anyway. Is that really, he's really mad at Northwest Ken for $1.99? Yeah, we should send Joey C the link, but I can't even. Jesus.
David matching. Do you have Teamster Thames Venmo? Need to send him Ray's rent money for the month. Great Saturday show, boys. Cheers. Thank you.
Wait, what's he asking for? I have Tim's number.
Can I get his Venmo so he can send him some money? Send it to me, and then I will send it to. I'll write a check. Raise rent.
You can't even make this up. I'm sleeping in Teamster Tim's house. Don't get mad if I wake everybody up.
He's not even on the floor or the couch like a Newport. He's in bed. What happened?
My internet went out. It was weird.
That's what I said. I said maybe his internet.
Took it out. Asian Pat Dixon.
Full moon in Halloween weekend. All sorts of evil is afoot.
Right.
All sorts of evil is afoot.
Right. All right. Furious and Vaping came in $100 at the end. $100 at the end. You guys, thank you. I appreciate it because it's yeah. You guys know.
That rocks.
No, it's just good. It's just I'm a little drunk, but it's just good because then I get to pay Stevie and I pay Pat and everyone. It's a good thing, and I'll kick some up to Ray because Ray's off the Shuley Network and etc. But the super chats have been great lately. I don't want to get all teary-eyed like I just won an Oscar. But you guys, you guys make the show. I'm not talking about to Stevie or Pat right now. I'm talking about the super chats. The super chats make the show. Stevie and Pat are replaceable. The super chats are not. Vaping and Furious and like Gustav yesterday. Like, listen, I don't get chills, but like, but Gustav like coming in the chat yesterday was so like it made the show so great that like when I'm done I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So thank you to everybody, and the fucking super chats are great. They've been great, and so that's it. I'm gonna start crying. I might jump off my show and look for Artie Lang in a bathroom doing coke at the Hard Rock.
Party boy, $2. Wish my sister a happy birthday, please.
You don't have a sister.
Happy birthday, Party Boy's sister.
Is she a party girl? What's her name? Party girl. She's a lesbian, like you're allegedly. Stevie, seriously, your thing went out because of Halloween?
I don't know. My internet's usually pretty strong. I do BYB fucking.
Pat, imagine. I almost said pot. Hey, Pat, imagine you get so high that you think the spirits are causing your internet to go out.
Well, okay. So Sue kept saying yesterday that your vomit was because of a spirit. Did you hear that?
But I did feel weird for a couple of weeks. Like I said, I kept having bad breath. Like even after I'd be walking around, I'm like, why does my breath stink? And I'm usually very aware of it. And so I was like, why does my breath stink? So I thought maybe she's right about the spirits. But then she did. Somebody else pointed out, I watched Ray's Declaration of Independence. And then I threw up after that. So maybe that made me throw up.
But I thought, though, if it was a spirit, it was probably Chad's brother.
Oh, come on.
I doubt.
Oh, Jesus. What did I put up here?
Oh, Keanu Thompson. $4.99.
Thank you, Keanu.
She's insulting other guests.
I know. So next. We don't have to.
No, I want to see what she says.
Listen, I turned a new page in my life.
Anyone or hitting any ladies. Yeah.
I actually look. We're fucking almost 4 hours into this goddamn thing, and I'm having a great time with Pat Dixon.
No, I never put up her things, but it's so late. I didn't even care. Great job.
I hope Pat knows that
major props for never saw. And okay.
All those things are true. He never sucker punched anybody. Never hit any ladies. Good for you, Stevie.
And listen, as far as I'm concerned, with Pat Dixon and Ryan, a new page has been turned in the book. So honestly,
nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Right.
But the reality is,
that's a good point.
Nobody on this show, and I'll take this to my grave. Nobody on this show, who's on the show currently, presently, the three of us, nobody has ever sucker punched anybody. Nobody has sucker punched anybody. If anybody punched anybody, they knew it was coming. I allegedly got sucker punched one time. Stevie Lou, this is a story up your alley. It's a little boring, a little long, but it's still better than any of your shitty stories.
Okay.
Anyway, I went to visit my friends at Mount St. Mary's College in Emmitsburg, Pennsylvania, and this girl was like friendly to me all night. So I went back to her dorm. And she was like, there was like a party, and then everybody was leaving, and it was just me and the girl and this other dude, and he was like, it's time for you to leave now. I go, no, I'm with Sally. I don't know what the fuck her name was. I said, I'm with Sally. He goes, no, I'm with Sally. You're gonna leave now. And so I started reading the magazines they had there. I think it was like the Newsweek or Time. It was back in the 70s. So I'm sitting there reading, and he punched me. I went to the hospital.
Wow.
It was a big scandal. But I wasn't sucker punched because he basically told me it's time for you to leave. And I was drunk, and I didn't antagonize him, but I sat there. I didn't look at him. And then after he punched me, he said, he asked the people that live there, where are the knives? And that's why I got a little concerned, but it was the 70s, so nobody really cared about stuff like that. Anyway, I went to the hospital. I got some stitches. I became a local hero. Anyway, I wasn't sucker punched because the guy had warned me, like, it's time for you to leave, and I didn't heed his advice. And so I wasn't sucker punched. You could say the guy got thrown out of school.
Was your jaw broken?
He did get thrown out. They built a statue. Anyway, he got thrown out of school. He got thrown out of school. But I wasn't sucker punched because I knew something was coming if I was kept being difficult, because I think allegedly this was his girlfriend and she was maybe using me to create problems for him or whatever. Anyway, I didn't get laid. I went to the hospital. I don't know if I had any Blue Cross or Blue Shield. Anyway, I wasn't sucker punched.
Right. So let me just say,
nobody on this show has ever sucker punched anybody.
So let me just say, I've gained new perspective in my life, and I'm man enough to admit that maybe I was looking at things not so quite on point in the past. And sometimes it takes getting in the ring with someone and beating the shit out of each other.
So I don't know
to gain that perspective.
What did you learn?
So that what you're saying, that no one on this podcast was sucker punched, could have
sucker punched anybody.
Yeah, exactly. I'm agreeing with you. Is what
New
I'm
saying,
page,
as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, thanks, Stevie.
So,
and
we'll leave it at that. I don't want to start sucking each other's dicks here, but
sounds good. Yeah.
Damn. Teddy, Anthony's stand-up is terrible. Good one, boss. If Anthony's terrible, it's not terrible. He just he doesn't really care. He does it as a goof, and he's drunk all the time because of Gino. And but if Anthony wanted to be good at stand-up, he could be great at stand-up. So
his stand-up is great. Yeah, I've seen him do stand-up and kill. I've seen him. He writes funny shit.
It's all funny, but when I've done shows with him, it's always at Governor's. He's backstage. Gino's making him do shots. He comes up. He's a little drunk. You can't be drunk for every show. You can be drunk sometimes, but you can't be drunk for every show and expect to be great at stand-up.
Well, it's like, he never wanted to be a stand-up because he couldn't take the pay cut. I mean, like, it's the whole.
Yeah, but also it's a pain in the ass. To be a good stand-up, you got to do a lot of shows, and you got to be kind of dedicated to it. And he doesn't need to be. He's already a fucking great broadcaster.
Yeah, but he came along faster than anybody I've ever seen.
Of course, because he's naturally funny.
And he's been, his experience too, but yeah.
Right. Speaking in front of people and.
Yes. He was ready. He was stage ready from go.
Yeah, but if he wanted to dedicate himself to be a good stand-up, he could be a great stand-up.
He'd be incredible.
Furious. Rogan stinks on ice, and it's ice from Mars. Wow, that's a double slam.
Double stink. Is there ice on Mars? Should be up on Amazon in the next 6 weeks for pre-sale. That is amazing. Behind scenes of Artie Landau, KTC, future of CM of Compound Media destroys Opie, Stud Joe Burr, and many others.
Wow.
What's KTC?
Keith the Cop.
Keith the Cop, yeah.
Cop, got it.
I'm sure there's probably some Club Soda Kenny dirt too.
No, the Keith the Cop I would love to hear, because that was a weird relationship. I mean, not bad, just weird. Because anyway, what do you think about giving up
2 months of the Shuley Network pay?
That was Ray claimed that he kicked back his Shuley payments to the crew.
Yeah, but
recently.
he made $200 a month, so
right.
it's like literally insignificant. I mean, I'll give him the money if he wants it.
To the crew, it's like $950 or something.
Huh?
I think he said it was $900.
It's not.
He was counting it as $450 a month.
No, he was getting. We asked him, "What'd you get for September?" And on October 23rd, he said, basically, we figured it was between 200 and 300. That's for four shows. So he's basically getting $50 a show. So he thinks they're not going to pay him for October and November. November 21st, you get paid for YouTube. So that's when they paid him. So he thought he wouldn't get his $200 in November for October. I'm like, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. And people have already given it to him. Borgo and people gave it to him when he made his Declaration of Independence.
One Furious F, $5. Stevie, do an impression of Ray in the Bahamas trying to get laundry done. KB's right. If you have it coming, you have it coming.
Thank you.
Here we go.
I don't know. Maybe I look like some boyfriend that dumped you when you were in high school. But lady, I need to do my sock laundry.
Ray said they almost kicked him out of the country.
That was a wildly good impression, though. I mean, that sounded like very much like Ray, didn't you think? I've never heard.
I thought he was here. I thought he was not at Teamster Tim's house anymore. He was.
Well,
here.
I mean, Asian Pat Dixon is an impressionist, so I think when I was fighting him last night, some of that rubbed off on me. I think that's what that is.
I don't give him the credit. I mean, everybody does an impression of an impression. That's how Ant said he does it. Like, find somebody who does the impression and then do that.
Right.
No, Kumia said he did impression of Stuttering John. He did Artie's impression of Stuttering John, and he would just do Artie's impression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like literally on point. He would just Artie's impression of Stuttering John. Kumia's like, I'm just going to do that. So I don't have to do any homework. I'm just going to do this.
But it makes it accessible to hear somebody else do it. You know?
Right. And then you learn it there as you're there. No, but Ray's story about doing his laundry and you couldn't leave the premises.
Right.
What if you were at the hotel?
You weren't a guest. Yeah, you had to be a guest of the. Yeah, it was very strange.
Yeah, so Ray had this thing about they were gonna put him on the next flight out of the Bahamas because he did his laundry and
she was like, Listen, blood clot, Mr. DeVito, man.
That's exactly how it went.
And you fucking wash them in the river like everybody else, man.
Look at this, Furious. Look at this.
Thanks.
All right, we're caught up, everybody.
4 hours.
Incredible. I thought we were going to do longer because I thought Ray was going to go on. I thought we were going to read Super Chats till 6 in the morning. I really thought we were, but Ray luckily was at Teamster Tim's house, sleepy with his pinky blanket. And hopefully we'll get him on Monday and see how Ray's doing with his new independence.
I used to work at a bar. You'd like walk out at like 7 a.m. Like the sun's coming up. You're not sure what's going on. It's what this is like. I love it.
But it's funny, Ray went to Teamster Tim's house because that's where he goes when he's feeling vulnerable. That's where he went after Potsdam. He slept at Teamster Tim's hotel. That
Teamster
famous
Tim must be
story.
a saint.
He is.
Hold on, we got another one.
Pat Dixon is the man. Thank you. Come to what is that?
That's
like
in Pennsylvania.
MS. Yeah, they did.
I love
Yeah, me and Levy used to go there. Whenever you talk to Levy, he's like, we'll go in there once, we'll come back, we'll double the numbers. So we did the Amos Theater like once. There's like 100 people there. Next time, 60.
See, double.
I'm like, Bob, I thought we were gonna double the numbers. He goes, yeah, it's a bad night. The Phillies are playing. There's always the Phillies. It's always blaming on the Phillies.
Yeah.
The Phillies are playing. All right, Stevie, do your stupid plugs. You have another fight coming up?
No. BYB Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m.
That. They're all dying.
Cool.
They're all dying.
Quad Father and you are cool. We are all dying.
They were dead.
So.
I thought everybody was dead there.
And then speaking of dying, Ski Mask Collective is my other thing. So fuck, what am I doing? Jesus Christ.
You're promoting Ski Mask Collective
and BYB. Just
why don't you have your own network
marketing.
like Levyverse?
I'm looking for a show on the douche.
The Louis verse.
KB2. I'm looking for a show on the douche.
Stevie verse.
Stevie verse.
I'm just Censor.tv and use the promo.
You don't even know where you are because Cozy TV might be shut down by the government.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always uncensored regardless, though. Censor.tv. I don't know what's going on with Cozy. I have to find out.
If I can say, Pat, I heard that they will be covering the Asian Pat Dixon and my fight on Monday's Get Off My Lawn. So if folks are interested in seeing that coverage, Gavin's firsthand experience, what you should do is you should go sign up for Censor.tv with Pat's promo code to see that coverage on Monday. So
what's your promo code, Gino?
Gino's jaw. Gino's jaw is broke.
Is the same show? Is it Cozy and what's the other one you're on?
Censored.tv. It's not the same show.
Is it the same show on different platforms?
Nope, not at all. It's exclusive over there, just like it was on Compound. It's NYC Crime Report, but it's over there now. The guest on the last show was Pete Panuccio, 39-year police veteran and night watch detective, Pete the Cop. So he was great. And that episode is up right now. You can see a free preview right over there at Censored.
And he's a full-time Panini, or is that allegedly?
Oh, that's he's part-time at best.
No, they do a great job over at Censor.tv, man. I'm not gonna
listen.
Bullshit you.
I hate to say it, but no, I don't hate to say it, but the best stories are like the New York City cops from like the 70s and 80s. I don't know what era it's from, but like any documentary or any cop stories about like the cop scene 30, 40 years ago, it's incredible shit.
Yeah, that's the era he's from, is all of them, you know. I mean, he retired in 2020, so go back 39 years, and that's when he was there.
It's incredible shit, like the New York City back in the 70s and 80s, even the 90s when like crack was happening.
Oh, yeah, 90s.
Stevie Lou moved into
It's still happening, buddy. Don't worry. I'm going to go hit the pipe as soon as this is done.
It's crack.
All right, everybody. Great job. I thought we were going to go longer than 4 hours. I'm a little disappointed. I thought Ray was going to come on and drag his ass about what happened with everything, but he's hopefully he's sound asleep. I'm going to call right after the show and make sure.
Listen, you can only jerk it off to Ari Jane's daughter's OnlyFans so many times before you conk out for the night.
Don't talk about my kids.
All right, everybody. Thank you. And we'll see you on Monday. Bye. Thanks to Pat Dixon and Stevie Lou. And that's it. Bye.